Oh yeah, we're back. Welcome to How Can She Snap? This is the Marvel Snap podcast dedicated to the filthiest of casuals. I'm the kid, one half of the Super Snapper Rose. Back from Italy, my brother from the same mother, we got Mr.
No big deal. Wow.
Decided to give him his job back. Welcome back. No big deal.
We're back.
He's back. We got a very, very special guest all the way from Mexico. We got Dopeness. Welcome, baby. Welcome to the pod. How you doing, man? Tell the people where they can find you.
Yo. I'm on Dopeness and everywhere, honestly. Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, anything. Just on Twitter, you have to have the little underscroll, and that's pretty much it.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just DOP3NEZ, that's all my handles, just wherever you could find me if you're interested in, like, messing around in Fortnite or even Marvel Snap, me getting mad and cursing the world because, sometimes this game's not fair, but life's not fair.
Yeah. Truth. That's it. Dropping truth bombs early here, but yeah, we'll link your socials and stuff, buddy. So we got a pretty cool episode today. The return of No Big Deal, so it might be a shitty episode, but we'll see.
Probably.
But we got a big patch that came out. A lot of changes with Thanos. We'll talk about that. The meta is pretty diverse. A lot of Profex Cannonball stuff going on too. We'll talk about that as well. New season, new cards, Gilgamesh, Thena. We're gonna get into that. And that's pretty much it. Let's get it. All right. Dopeness. No big deal. How the heck are you guys today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. A 10.5-hour flight, got up at 5 a.m. this morning, drove from Toronto, little Toronto to Windsor trip, about a 4-hour trek, but we made it, a couple coffees. I'm ready, baby. 6-hour time zone change. I'm not scared. I'll sleep when I'm dead.
That's right. No big deal. Back. Welcome back, dude. Welcome back. Hope you had fun out there. Dopeness, how you doing, dude?
Hey, man, compared to No Big Deal, man, I'm sitting pretty. I'm glad he's back, safely back. Hopefully he has some good pasta or pizza or whatever the hell
food.
Italy's famous for now, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we're Italian, so we're both 100% Italian, so we're both like spoiled with good Italian food our entire lives from like both our grandparents and everything when they were alive. It was amazing food.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, no big deal. What was the food like in Italy, dude? You're telling me it was fucking incredible. So
it's insane. Yeah, the pasta's crazy. Like, we had pasta on like this farm. They're literally showing you the cows. They're like, we use this cow for the meat sauce. Like, I felt kind of bad for like 20 seconds, but then like I ate the pasta and I'm like, oh my god, like it's just the next level. There's another level. Like, it goes up to another level. It's different. So like the pasta is ridiculous. I'd say the Windsor pizza is probably better, honestly, but the pizza's still really good. And I mean, like the steak is ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous, man. It's next level food, service, everything. Like, beautiful country.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'm going to Europe in September, so we'll see. I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, let's talk about the new cards here. Now we got that out of the way. Had to pretend like I care about No Big Deal's life a little bit. We are a family, but yeah, let's talk about what we're really here for. We're here for the new cards. We're here for Snap. We got Thena and Gilgamesh. I got Thena pulled up on the screen here. We'll start with her. She's a 2/1 after each turn, plus 3 power if you've played exactly 2 cards. Did you guys both pick up this card this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I got lucky. I got it, and I didn't get a Grandmaster or tokens. I've been getting tokens since like the beginning. I started playing this game, and I don't think I've got a new card. I would have been done with my collection if I didn't get tokens, but fortunately I did get Athena and played her a couple of times. Just cool.
Yeah. What do you think about her power level?
I think I'd rather play Angela. Yeah. Honestly, I've had a choice.
Yeah. They seem pretty almost synergistic. Like it seems like in the kind of decks you play them in the kind of like the Kitty Angela kind of style decks. Small stuff with early scalers. It seems like you could play Thena, you could play Angela, you could even play both. I mean, we're gonna talk about some deck lists that include both of them, which are pretty good. No big deal. What do you think of this card, man, so far? what you've
I
played.
mean, she seems quite good. I mean, like, I haven't played a whole lot in the last 2 weeks, but she seems like a natural fit with the card Kitty Pride. Obviously, Kitty plus anything, you're already playing 2 cards anyway. So very easy. She feels like similar to Nebula power level. If I had to throw a card out there, because like if you get her early, she gets pretty crazy. If you draw her on like turn 4 or 5, she's not doing a whole lot, and I mean, do you really want to play 2 cards? Turn 5, 6. Sometimes it's a 1 card kind of turn. So I think you definitely want to see her early. Similar to like Nebula, right? Like get Nebula late, it kind of sucks. So that's how I felt playing her, and I think she's a natural fit. At least in the 2 decks I've played, is like with Kitty Angela stuff, and I think in Thanos, honestly, I think she's like a natural fit in there because Stone plus X. Play on the Hope Summers, you get extra energy. So Hope Summers gives you a lot of flexibility with your curve. You could play, on turn 5, you play like a 5-drop and a stone, and then Thena gets pumped up. So I think in Thanos and in Kitty Pride decks, I think she's a natural fit, a nice scaler. And to your point, those, Angela probably is a little bit better, but at least she's good in Angela decks too.
Yeah, I mean, she's a good card. I'm just gonna go and say this card's really, really fucking good. She is in this decks that I've played her, she's been like really like just an all-star. Now I don't know if that's like just because the decks that I'm playing her in are very good as well, like because there's a lot of good shells that you can just throw her in. She's plug and play. I don't know if she's like a win more. She does, because a lot of these decks you're playing Ravona. She gets discounted by Ravona, which is pretty cool. If you play her as the second card, she still gets a buff, which is also pretty cool. So you can play like her and Kitty on turn 3, and she gets +3 power, which is nice. So and then a lot of these decks, which we'll talk about one of them, but like a few of them are running Luke Cage, which is interesting. To combat Shadow King, because Shadow King's running rampant here in the meta as well. Because just there's so many early scalers and stuff, it just does so much work. So throwing in having a Luke Cage to surprise on turn 6 is pretty cool. I think she's just a good card, man. I think she's just like Angela. She can get bigger than Angela. She can be smaller than Angela, but she limits you to playing exactly 2 cards, but you do it twice, and she's a 2/7. So like, what more do you want, right? Like,
it's ridiculous. And stats. To your point with Luke Cage, shout out Black Dama. I mean, the night I was packing for Italy, we did the podcast like the night before I flew out, and I think he had a kind of Luke Cage kind of bounce type of deck where that was the surprise like card, right? The Luke Cage tech in there. So I don't know if that's catching on. I don't know if that was maybe it's from him, maybe it's not, but that's kind of interesting. People are teching in the Luke Cage as well.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. What kind of decks have you been playing her in? A dopeness?
Same I think as everybody, man. I'm not that unique. Like I'm gonna be like I'm cooking it up, but it's the Angelas, the Kitties, the Nightcrawlers. I even a couple of Red Hulks in there, So at 6, you get a couple, you get a Red Hulk at the end, man. Just pop them in any slot and it'll be fine, Some Visions in there. I have a Vision in there. I think is really well as well because you could. Elsa, just the normal, power ups, here and there.
Yeah.
Just trying to learn honestly because I barely started in January, so I'm catching up. I'm playing catch up. I'm not playing Marvel Step. I'm playing catch up. So it's like, and honestly, it's fun, since because I wasn't really playing mobile games. I was like, man, mobile games are like whatever. But then I'm like, let me try Marvel Snap, and I got hooked, man. I'm like, this is just something else, just the randomness, just the like kind of like chess, kind of like messed up kind of chess. Like you're kind of have to read this person. Like, what are they doing? What do you want them to do? And honestly, I like playing that. But when they play with my emotions, I'm like, I get really heated. But that's the name of the game,
Yeah, exactly. No, it's definitely a fun game. I mean, the point is to have fun, man. That's it. That's what we're all about.
I have fun.
I don't really. If we win, good. If I don't, good. I don't care. We just play decks to have fun and screw around. I mean, that's kind of what we're
I'm
about.
just messing around about getting mad.
I know.
It's just for the stream, like it's a character, but I shouldn't get that mad. Before I used to get mad before when Halo and all that stuff, that was frustrating, but This game is chill. You know, it should be chill
Yeah,
because we don't need more white hairs on our head. You know,
Yeah, true.
exactly.
For me, I'm
and
just
our
losing my
beards.
hairs.
Yeah.
Oh damn, me too, man. Look at
Yeah.
our receiving headline. I got the crows.
I mean, we, whatever. We get tilted too. You get a subterranean and you draw the 4 fucking rocks. I mean, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
pretty pissed off, So
I'm out of
there's
there.
that.
Bounce here.
The
But
mobile
yeah,
the mobile game point is pretty interesting. Like I'm the same as you, Dopeness, where it's like, man, I always just hate these
Hmm.
mobile games. Like they're boring. They're all like pay to win, cash grab BS.
Oh
And
yeah.
then it's like, yeah, Marvel Snap comes out. It's like, oh, okay, this is actually like an actual fun mobile game. I've always just avoided them basically like the plague in my whole life until this one as well. So this is
Hmm.
my first kind of mobile game that I actually open up my phone and play on my phone sometimes, unlike any other game in my life.
Yeah. Besides this, it was Pokemon Go,
Oh
but
yeah, true.
Pokemon Go, you have to actually had to go out and play,
Yeah.
and sometimes I get lazy and I don't want to go walk around for a mile just to hatch an egg. I'm like, man, I'll just chill here and draw cards and level up. And that's the thing too. Like the leveling system is just something else. You're like, oh, you're betting, essentially betting. You're like, oh, let me drop some cubes here. I'm confident. And they drop it, and your adrenaline rush is just
Mhm.
up there. You're just, oh, let's go, come on. You're just pumped about it. It's fun.
yeah. No, yeah, I love this game. Yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere. For one, and number two,
Hopefully not.
I'm not gonna stop playing it anytime fucking soon. So I mean, we're in it to win it,
Yeah.
baby. Um,
Dopeness, what's your collection? If you start in January, I'm curious. So, like, around how many cards are you missing? And do you
I'm
whale
missing
like
four
crazy
right
on
now,
the
but
bundles or not? Like, do you feel like you have to catch up?
yeah, man, I was a baby whale right now,
Yeah.
but yeah, my Apple Card is like saying, hey, we're hitting our limit, so we gotta chill out for a little bit, and I'm like, oh, because I'm
Yeah,
like,
fair. No gun. Yeah, yeah.
and later on in the week, you're like, oh, all right, what's going on here? And you're just working to play this game. You're like, it shouldn't be like that. So right now, I'm not chilling a little bit, maybe free to play for a minute, miss a couple cards, and have fun. Like it's supposed to be a free game.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, just because, yeah, I know you wanted to talk about this. Is a pretty good segue to get into it now. But I know you wanted to talk about the Gambit bundle controversy. So we could get into that. I'll break it and we can get your opinion on it. But I'll just very very. If no one knows what the hell is going on, then I'll just give a couple sentences of what happened. Basically, Marvel Snap released a bundle with a Shadow King and Gambit variant. It was $100 bundle. There was 8,000 gold and 8,000 credits. Apparently, the artist who drew the Gambit did some anti-Semitic stuff in his previous comics. Was fired in 2017. This is from what I can gather on the internet. So I'm assuming a lot of sources said that was true. So I think that's the case. If not, then
Hmm.
whatever. I'm fucking wrong, but I think that's what happened. And so
Yeah.
Marvel Snap changed the Gambit variant from one that is a pretty fucking cool variant to one that is,
Oh
for
yeah.
me, I didn't think it was that cool. It was like a meme variant. But some people love the meme variants. That's very cool. That's a lot of people probably would like that one more. But they changed it. People were really pissed off. Second Dinner offered compensation in the form of 1,200 gold, which people were still pissed off about. Their logic was, hey, that's the same as a super rare variant, so you can just buy another variant, and because we changed your rare variant. People were still mad, so then Second Dinner ended up saying, all right, we give you guys 8,000 gold extra as compensation, which is, in my opinion, more than fucking generous. I ended up buying the Gambit bundle, so I'm like, I personally, I was
Yeah, I
happy
did
with the
too.
1,200 gold compensation.
Mhm.
I'm happier with 8,000 gold.
Yeah,
Not gonna
right.
lie. But the Gambit variant was fucking sick though. I fucking did love that. But yeah,
Mhm.
Dopeness. You want to talk about that? That's the overview. What do you think, Dopeness? What were your thoughts, dude?
Like the first thing I was like, man, this if they could do that to any card, man. I was like, or they have that power, so they could take away, they could give you whatever they want. So they have that power. So it's like a little scary, a little eerie, kind of feel icky about it. You're like, I don't really want to put more money into this game if I'm paying for something and it gets taken away and they're like, oh, here's your compensation. I was like, oh, I really don't want that. I really just want a refund. But like you said, like a refund's kind of hard with the Apple or Google Play. But there's just a lot of headaches. It's like it's like if we all got into a car accident, we just have exchange information, and we're gonna, it's a headache. I'm not trying to have a headache or argue with anybody about something something you get. It shouldn't be like that
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, something
at
something I
all.
forgot to mention too is when they did explain why they couldn't give, like, because people really wanted there, yeah, again, there was a fucking uproar. People really wanted their money back, or at least partial money back. I think most people wanted their money back, but whatever, that's just Twitter people.
Mm.
And Second Internet said, hey, like, we can't give cash back just because of the rules and the shit that goes on with the Apple Store, like the App Store and like the Google Play Store. Like, you can't just refund people money. It just doesn't work like that for whatever fucking reason. I don't know, but it just doesn't work like that. So just accept it. So that's why they had to go with in game currency instead of
Currency, yeah.
actual stuff. But yeah, I mean,
Makes sense because it goes back to their game. It goes back to whatever. It goes. We're spending that gold on them, and it's not hurting them because it's what is it? Just digital currency. It's like, here you go. They could give as much. They could take away as
Yeah.
much. It's easier. It's easier that
Yeah.
way than here's $100, whatever, PayPal or gift cards or whatever they could do whatever to make people happy. When people are not going to be happy regardless, but
yeah.
it's good that everybody got 8,000.
No big deal. You're a not really big spender. I don't think you got this bundle, right? What are your thoughts?
I haven't bought a bundle in a hot minute. Yeah, I don't remember the last bundle I bought. I think it was a couple months ago. I did buy, I think, 1 or 2 this year, but yeah, that wasn't one of them. I think Dopeness makes a pretty interesting point where, we know now that it is a little spooky that they can't refund cash. I mean, I think that's probably the main takeaway from this, right? Like, you would think they would be able to refund cash. It is kind of weird that they can't. Like, I don't really buy this Google Apple Play Store horseshit. Like, that sounds like a very weird kind of excuse. You should be able to refund people what they paid. Like, you have my credit card.
I'll try and find what.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I accept their explanation. I just think it's a little bit fishy, and it's like that's a little bit weird. But hey, man, it's great that they listened and they refunded 8,000 gold. Like, that is way more above and beyond. Like, you basically bought that, you knew you were going to get 8,000 gold, and instead you get 16,000 gold. Like, that's pretty insane.
Yeah, man, that's like $200 worth of gold,
yeah,
man.
So
it's like doubling it up, and it kind of reminds me like how a lot of people were mad about the spotlight when the spotlight was broken, and everybody got refunded their keys and they got the free cards, and everybody was in an uproar, and they gave 800 gold to everybody. I was like, that's kind of
on the U.S. agent
not fair
one,
either.
On the U.S. agent spotlight, yeah.
Oh my lord, I was just like, the day I don't want to spend my keys is the day that this game breaks, and I'm like, damn. Because prior I was just 4 keys every week, and this week I was like, nah, I'm gonna chill out, and it was probably the worst time to chill out because it was like one of the biggest blunders like since I've been playing the game. I was like, oh, and then people started bringing up other things in the past. I was like, oh, this game is a little broken sometimes. I was like, I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to even explain it to new players. That people are like, oh, what's going on with the game? Like, you got me into it, and it's kind of hard to explain. Like, yeah, they don't got their stuff together sometimes. It's like every other game.
Yeah, it's like a smaller team, I guess, right? That it's not always a smooth, client. Like, stuff malfunctions all the time. A lot of time, just new season update comes and just a bunch of stuff gets screwed up in the game. Like, even a lot of card balance gets messed up sometimes. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I don't really have like a strong opinion on the bundle. I think it's great that they refunded 8K. I think it's good that, to Dopeness' point with the U.S. agent, consistently they are kind of over refunding when they make a mistake. They do make quite a bit of mistakes though, and you're at the mercy of them, right? So when you buy something, like, number one, you're not going to get your cash back, and number two, let's hope they come up with a refund or some kind of compensation. I mean, that's definitely not guaranteed, right? So
no, they don't owe us nothing because we're trusting them with the money we're working hard for, and they're working hard too. Like, they need to get paid too. But man, if we mess up at work, we're gonna hear it.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
and they heard
Yeah,
it.
here's what they say for full money refund, just so we're clear. I want to. I don't want to just talk indirectly because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. They said regarding full money refunds, that's something we are unable to grant. Purchases through our partners like Apple and Google require refunds to be requested through them directly. They have their own rules and regulations when it comes to those requests. This is why we've chosen to grant compensation of in-game currency equal to the bundle's original purchase price. So that's why they did it.
Yeah, and it seems like
And
so.
you would
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dope. Sorry, buddy.
you would also get negative like 8,000 gold, right? If like you tell your credit card like, hey, yeah, I'm trying to get a refund of this or whatever excuse you make, of my child brought it or
Yeah,
whatever. And I think I've seen some accounts are like negative, negative money, negative credits because they take it
right. And
back
they give you
because
$100.
like that money's gone, and that I'm like it's kind of scary to be negative on anything. It's like I don't want to be negative
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
That's true. If you spend your gold right away, and then they because you buy the bundle to spend the gold, I would assume, right? You want to spend it on something.
Yeah.
So maybe you buy the 5,500. There was a gold bundle in the shop, Hobgoblin, the pizza time, 4,200 gold, right? So you
Hmm.
buy this Gambit bundle for $100. Then you take 4,200 of the gold, you go buy Hobgoblin, a new Hobgoblin pizza time variant, and shout out Ninja Turtles, and then all of a sudden they go in, they refund you $100, but then they take back the 8,000. So now you already spent 4,000 of it. Now you're at negative 4,000, and yeah, that would be pretty brutal. That would be extremely feels bad. So I guess in that sense, I get why it's not only easier for them, but feels better to just have a bunch of extra here, take an extra 8,000 gold rather than like, yeah, you're just at negative 4K, right? That would be extremely feels bad, like for something that you're spending money on the game and you're getting punished, right?
Yeah.
Out of your control. Like get it if it was my fault, but it's not my fault. Like you should have done your research. You should have talked to anybody who's making these cards, because like we can't have people saying things and then there are arts out here. Like okay.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
my final thoughts on this, and I'll just say one takeaway from this is that there's a lot more people buying $100 fucking bundles than we thought. Like there was a fucking uproar,
Yeah.
dude. There was an uproar. There's a lot of people bought bundles. So I mean, that's good for the game, I guess.
Yeah, I can't believe this is even a topic, right? Like, I thought it was 1% of people buying $100 bundles. Like, I mean, I'm definitely not buying the expensive ones like that.
I'm gonna be completely honest. Me personally, my final thought on this is, I originally bought it for the fucking resources, dude. The resources were too good to
Yeah, good
pass
value.
up. I didn't give two shits about the variants. They were cool variants. I didn't care that much that the Gambit one got changed. I did like the old one a lot more, but I didn't really give too much of a fuck. So personally, I mean, there are people that, if you're spending $100 and people are doing that consistently, sometimes people are doing it for exclusive variants, right? Like
Right.
there are people that are happy to be like, hey, I fucking love that Gambit variant, which was really cool. And there's not a lot of people that are going to have it because it's $100. I want that. So to those people, I can understand why they'd be fucking pissed to get this meme Gambit variant that I think fucking is shit, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I get that. But personally, me, like I was fucking happy to just get the resources, and even the 1,200 gold I was fine with. But the 8,000, like I'm not gonna fucking complain. Sure.
Yeah.
I feel bad for that guy that got the infinite border on his Gambit. So now it's him
Oh,
just
like the
looking at
cosmic
the
one or
card.
whatever.
No, the
Poor
Infinity
guy.
border, the Conquest,
Oh shit.
the Infinity
Okay.
Avatar.
Oh, the Avatar.
The
That's the
Yeah,
icon,
one.
the
Oh
avatar.
my
Yeah,
god.
Then you get the meme one.
Yeah, you're giving the meme one. Yeah.
compensate
Yeah,
that man, that
Yeah.
person.
can't.
Well,
All right.
I will say too. I do think, to Dominus's point, I think the client is a little bit wonky. I mean, they've gotten better over the years. I think when I first started playing, it was worse. It seemed like stuff like this was getting screwed up more frequently, and like wouldn't get fixed for months. Like I remember there was like a lockjaw bug where like you just couldn't see what the hell was going on. You'd play lockjaw and you'd play cards on it, and like I mean, for like a year playing the game, like just random cards would just sit there that like you didn't even play, but they would just like linger, and they it just you couldn't tell what the hell was going on. You're
Yeah,
playing
I remember
lockjaw,
that.
yeah, and there was stuff like this that would
Oh,
happen a lot early on. I think they cleaned most of it up, but I think things will get screwed up probably for the lifetime of this game. I think every like couple months, like something like this is probably going to happen. And so at least they've been consistently compensating us when it does go wrong. Because the last one, like Dobin said, was US Agent. Give it a couple of months, there's going to be another thing that gets fucked up. Like I just think whatever coding they have is like it's like pretty good, but not like it's not like Hearthstone, which was just like a really tight, it's Blizzard, hundreds of millions of dollars poured into it, and kind of has that the Blizzard polish or whatever. I don't think this game has that, but it does, like with the graphics and everything, and the IP is gorgeous. But I think stuff is going to keep getting a little bit screwed up, not that often, but probably every couple months. So just hopefully they keep compensating us when it does.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully more. Hopefully not weekly. Hopefully monthly. Hopefully yearly.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Hey, and they have been compensating us, so like I don't know, you can't fucking complain too much, right?
Yeah. No, props to them for giving everyone 8K. That's a really
we're humans, man. We're humans. We live off complaining and
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so all right, we talked enough about Thena. Let's talk about the season pass card, Gilgamesh. He's a 5/7 on reveal, +1 power for each of your other cards in play with increased power. This includes cards like, if you have your cards all blue marveled and stuff, they're increased power. He gets +1 power. So he, I don't know if we talked about this on a previous pod or not, but I think he used to be +2 for each one. I think he used to be like a 5.
I don't
less.
think so.
Yeah, I think he was like a 5/3 or a 5/5 or 5/4, and then he was +2.
Okay.
And then he got changed like maybe a month ago or something. But anyways, this is Gilgamesh. What do you guys think of this guy?
Go ahead, Dublin.
I got the season pass, and I played him, and I was, like I said, I do auto, what's it called? Auto deck? What
Yeah,
do
the
you call it?
autofill.
Yeah.
You make the deck autofill, and it got me with the blue marble, with the Nikita, everybody, and I played it a couple of times, and I think I won like 10 out of 0 because it's a new card, so people that don't know how to counter it. And the next day, and it was just pure counters to the Gilgamesh. It was like, what's it called? A bunch of like green goblins, like just a bunch of stuff, like just counter it. And I was like, I'm gonna take a little break, and I haven't played Gilgamesh since I got Thena because I'm like, I'm enjoying the new cards, and any new card I get, I'm like, I'm gonna try to play it as much, and if I get bored, I go back to Destroy. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, something I'm comfortable with, and learning and trying to mess around with new things, and you're just not successful at it, you're gonna move on. But I think Gilgamesh could be real good at some point, but I don't think right now, for me, I don't be playing him that much. Maybe later.
Dublin, to clarify, are you saying destroyer, or are you a destroy bro, like Deadpool destroy?
Oh yeah, man, I like Venom. Venom is one of my favorite characters, so it's like every time I could play Venom and just eat everybody up, man.
He's awesome in this game too. They did a phenomenal job on Venom in this game for sure.
Heck yeah, man. They added a new voice for him. I don't know if you heard.
Oh
no,
I haven't seen that new voice on Venom. Sick. How is it? Is it good?
Yeah, I think he says, "I am Venom" or something.
So he says
whenever he eats somebody.
So this is a funny aside point. I read one of the dev answers this morning. So someone was like, "Why does he say I am Venom, not we are Venom?" Because that's what Venom says, right? Usually we are Venom. They said, we know this. We're going to change it in a future patch. It's already on the docket, but it'll probably be a couple months because it takes a while to do these things, I guess. They're like, it's going to be in a couple months, but they are going to change it to we are Venom. But it is pretty cool. It is a pretty cool voiceover for him.
Yeah. Gilgamesh is pretty interesting, I think. I think the problem is, what deck are you going to put him in? Because, now you got to play like a zoo deck. I think the zoo deck's decent, honestly. But I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been playing too much the last couple of weeks, but it feels like pretty solid to me. It's really nice that he works with Blue Marvel. I think this would be a bad card if he didn't work with Blue Marvel at all. But to your point, I think I'd be a little more interested if it was +2 per card, like 5/3 +2. I think that makes like kind of a crazy ceiling, but maybe like lower floor, type of card, right? Maybe make it a 5/2 or something. Who knows? And you're playing like this in like Mr. Negative, like Ironheart. I don't know, some crazy shit,
Yeah, that would be cool. I think that he was probably too strong doing that, because you could probably get to like a 520,
Yeah,
but,
he seems good now. It seems like he gets to like 14, 14-ish on average, 13, 14, in the high end. I've gotten him to like, higher than that, like 18, 19. You get the Blue Marvel buff as well on him, obviously. So yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I mean, like so the beginning of my climb, I played a little bit of like Thena, Sasquatch, those kind of decks in the 70s kind of thing. Then I moved on to some other decks which we'll talk about in a bit. But then like to finish my climb to Infinite, I was playing a Patriot deck that I saw that had Gilgamesh because I'm like, I haven't played Ultron, and Gilgamesh had Invisible Woman too because like Invisible Woman's just fucking sick right now because like you put Invisible Woman just protects your Patriot. Even if they Red Guardian it, like they have the Red Guardian and Enchantress or Red Guardian and then Rogue your Patriot lane, like which I've never had happen to me.
No, it doesn't
That's
happen.
like a lot of investment, but it hasn't happened. So what I like to do sometimes is sometimes that lane where you're putting the Invisible Woman and Patriot, you don't have a lot of power. So that lane's usually like your lost lane. So sometimes you can do Invisible Woman, Patriot, and then you have like you can either put the Gilgamesh in there right after, and then Ultron as well, or you can like put Gilgamesh in a different lane, and like I have Super Giant in that deck too, so you can like Super Giant on 4, Gilgamesh on 5, Ultron on 6, and then everything's buffed, right? And then Gilgamesh pops up last because he was Super Gianted, and then you get like he gets a shit ton of power, so you can like win that lane from him. There's a lot of different things you can do with him. It's really cool. He seems like a cool card. He's not like broken or anything. I don't think he's great. I think he's an okay card. I would say he's like okay. Like as far as power level goes, I think Thena is probably better than him. In general, I think she's a more powerful card. Will fit in a lot more decks. But he's a pretty cool card. I mean, like you do you have some buffs and he gets pretty big, man. And he's an on reveal, so you get Absorbing Man if you want to on turn 6.
Yeah. Well, I think you compare him to cards like Double Dino, Ronin, Darkhawk. He's somewhere in there. Maybe Gamora. Like I'm looking at the 5-drops. He's a big 5-drop, right? So he's just a big 5-drop that fits a different kind of deck. I mean, you're not playing him in a Double Dino deck. You're probably not playing him in Darkhawk or Ronin, right? So just a big 5-drop that you could play in like some Zoo, some ongoing Thanos, or like you said, the Invisible Woman, Ultron. That sounds really cool. Actually, I like to try something like that. Yeah, I like the Super Giant stuff. It's pretty disruptive too, especially if we're gonna get people complaining about Profx Cannonball, which we might get into later on. Super Giant's like really good against that as well. So that's kind of interesting. But I think he's probably pretty good. But yeah, I mean, Thena fits in the top meta decks, which is like Kitty Angela stuff, right? So that stuff's already sick. So you add Thena to that. I mean, it's even more sick, right?
Yeah. He's a cool card. I don't think he's a card that I'd be playing all the time, just in specific, circumstances. But yeah, he's cool for a season pass card. He's not shit.
Yeah.
He's a little bit interesting, and he's because you got to do a little bit of stuff to get him good, which is you don't just want a boring fucking card that you don't have to do anything with and just play big stats. That's kind of stupid.
Yeah, like Cold City and season pass would be terrible.
Yeah, that'd be horrible. That would be horrible. So like he's not like a really really cool card, but like he's interesting enough where like he can be big enough to fit in some decks and be good. You could fucking play him with Wong if you want to. There's a lot of Wong running around. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool. I like him. But yeah. All right. Let's talk about the meta a little bit. Or actually, you know what? Before the meta, this is what I want to talk about. Remember before the pod, I was like, "Hey, I want to talk. There's something else I want to talk about." Let's talk about let's do a quick recap of last season because we ranked all the cards like 1 through 5, and let's just talk about all the cards to see just in general where we think they are in the meta now and that kind of stuff. Just to go over that quickly. So first one that came out, or season pass card, Blink. What thoughts on Blink? Just like one sentence or whatever.
Awesome card, man. She's sick.
Yeah, Dopeness. Did you get Blink?
I did get Blink, and I really like her with discard, like with the discard deck. Just so much fun, especially if you have a Jubilee in there. You toss Jubilee, she brings a big boy in. Next turn, Blink, another big boy, and that lane is just secure if you don't get Shang-Chi, which I usually get Shang-Chi whenever I do something cool like that, But yeah, Blink is cool. I like Blink.
Yeah, Blink, awesome card, great season pass card. Obviously more interesting Gilgamesh, but really, really cool card. and really good. Did enable, fucking toxic leech meta 4-2 leech, but they changed the leech, so that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Blink, really fucking cool card. They nailed it. I love that card. Nocturne was the first release. Dopeness, do you have that card?
I do, yeah. And like I said, I like playing it with Magic, just or Storm or whichever card. Just open the lane up and move my girl there, and it opens up a lot of doors for interesting. It's like a moving, what's it called Wanda or
Scarlet Witch.
something,
Scarlet
Yeah.
or
Witch.
Scarlet Witch.
Wanda's good
So
though.
it's like,
Wanda's good too.
oh, I don't.
Yeah, so I mean, Nocturne for me, I know, no big deal. You don't have that. So Nocturne for me is was a little bit better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be as good, but it seems to be in all the top meta decks, and a lot of the content creators that are like really good seem to think that this card is like one of the best ones released. Personally, I don't think it is, but I think it's really good. It's a lot better than I thought. And it's probably definitely up there, for sure. And yeah, the location change is kind of crazy. And if you combine this with Elsa Bloodstone, she ends up being pretty cracked. So she's a very, very good card. A lot better than I thought. Do you have any thoughts on her?
I think same thing with Nocturne. I mean, I feel pretty good about how I kind of assessed the Blink Sasquatch stuff. I thought those were the clear top two, and I had Blink a little bit ahead of Sasquatch, and I think I kind of like my assessment on that. But Nocturne might be ahead of both of those cards, honestly, and just like straight up power level. I mean, the card is insane. Like a 3/5 that moves, and like Dobna said, you could deal with the horseshit locations. I mean, I knew she was going to do that. But I do think I'm happy that I skipped the card, because I do think even though she might be one of the very best cards in all of Marvel Snap, I also think she's one of the most replaceable cards in all of Marvel Snap. And I mean, we'll get into a deck I made later. I mean, this Nocturne's an extremely natural fit in there, but you can see that you just straight up don't need to play her. Cards like Nightcrawler, Vision, Captain Marvel, it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man's literally a 3/5 that moves and disrupts your opponent, so, and Nocturne's a 3/5 that moves but disrupts a location. So I mean, do we really need to spend 6K on this card that's just like a super easy to replace? I really don't think you need to for extra 0.5% win rate or extra 1 to 2% win rate that you're going to get with Nocturne. I'm happy that I skipped her, but I definitely didn't think she would be as good as she is. I do not like the Scarlet Witch effect. It's lost me so many fucking games, and it's killed the shit out of me. Like as a Cerebral 3 gamer, I play Rhino all day. Fuck Scarlet Witch, man. I hate that effect. That's another huge reason why I didn't buy the card.
That's great. All right, another card which honestly, personally surprised me a lot more. It was a lot better than I thought initially. Is Sage. Sage being a 3/0. Man, my initial thought was like, man, I'd probably just rather play Gladiator, and fuck this card. Sage is pretty good, dude. Sage gets up to 310, 312, 314. A lot more than you think, especially if you're bouncing this card. The prevalence of Ravonna in the meta has made her like a 2/0 that, you could just play for insane stats a lot of the time. She ended up being a really, really good card. Again, one that I was very surprised. I was like, I did not think she was going to be as good, but hey, she's a really good card. But again, replaceable card. You can just play Gladiator instead, man. You don't have to play Sage.
Mm-hmm. Dopeness, wait, did you pick up Sage, Dopeness, or?
Yeah, I got Sage. I was seeing everybody messing around with it. I saw the big numbers. I saw the Wong combos. I was like, I gotta try this out, and I got her up there, and she's won me a couple sweaty games where they're just matching each other, and then boom, Sage win a lane with it, because if it's with I think I played with her with a couple of times with Jean Grey, and I was like, yeah, this card is something else, because it's everybody's gonna be playing the card there, so it's like boom, 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 and just get that girl up, and it's like a little carpet under the feet, and man, it feels good when you do that to somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No big
sick
deal. What do you
card.
think?
I mean, she's kind of what I expected. You know, I thought she was going to be pretty good, and she's better in bounce than I expected. But they did just like add Werewolf by Night back to the game,
Hmm.
which was not a thing when we were originally assessing and ranking Sage. Right, we didn't have Werewolf by Night in the
Yeah.
freaking game, so now we do. And like she's sick in bounce. I mean, she's obviously great in Mister Negative. You could kind of play her in Junk. You could play her like Doma said with the Wong, like Wong type of decks. Like it's like, oh, am I going to play like a
Ooh.
white tiger and spread my power out, or you play a sage there and just pump that lane like crazy? Odin on top just gets ridiculous. You're gonna have like a 40 power sage there,
Yeah.
and yeah, she's pretty cool, man. She's a cool card. I don't think she's broken by any
No.
means. I think she's just a pretty cool powerhouse kind of card that only goes in certain kind of decks. I mean, you can't just put her in anything like you can with the Gladiator, for example, right? So, yeah.
All right, next card that came out was Namora. I had some pretty strong feelings about this card initially. Why don't you guys talk about this, and I'll go over my feelings after.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say I haven't seen her, so you know the kid might have been right on this one. Like I haven't seen her. I thought maybe she would be decent. The first couple days she came out, people were doing the Wong Odin stuff, and I actually lost to that a couple times. I don't know if you did, Dopeness. Dopeness, did you pick up
Yeah.
Namora?
Yeah. Ever since I started playing, man, I've got all the
Okay, from
from
January to now, you
Super
got all the
Giant.
new
So
cards.
I haven't missed one, but maybe next week I'm gonna miss one because yeah, I'm not really liking these Eternals right now. But we'll see. But yeah, I picked her up, and I was seeing it like, or they're just leaving one card there. Obviously, it's gonna be Namora, and they just power it up, and I was always hearing, oh, Jeff's gonna be this number, this person's gonna be this number, Cosmo this number. I'm like, I gotta try it, just to see it myself, and I've tried it. I've got a Cosmo up to a certain, I don't know what number, but it was some ridiculous number. I was just like, this thing is crazy, but somebody that breeds you, you're GG's, you're done. Honestly, it's like if you roll your whole game around Namora, there's easy counters to it. The goblins are easy, good examples. It
Yeah, White
depends
Widow.
on
Yeah,
if they could see, a white
yeah,
widow, yeah, they could see what you're doing.
Yeah,
It's obvious what you're doing because if you're just leaving cards there, and a card barely came out, it's
yeah,
easy mathematics.
yeah. Now I before had some pretty strong opinions on this card. Said that she was going to be dog shit before she came out. I said she was going to be horrible. Couldn't see her, being that good. Okay, I was a little bit wrong. She's half decent, I think, probably, because there are some decks, some unrevealed decks, people are having some good success with. I'll say Safety Blade had really good, success at the top end of ladder with it, with this card in this deck, but that just might be because he's an Unreal deck builder and Unreal player. I think I lost to a Namora deck like once in my since this card came out, and by lost I meant I saw what they were doing and then I
you retreat.
retreated
Yeah,
after
yeah,
and they didn't snap, so I was like, okay. But the other Namora stuff, yeah, they're like they said if you have any disruption, you can just screw their game plan basically. If you have a Red Guardian, you can get rid of the Wong. If you have a Cosmo, you put it in the Wong lane. If you have an Enchantress, if you have anything, you can get rid of this kind of stuff. And if you have a White Widow, if you have a Debris, if you have any Goblins, you put it in their lanes. And if there's a Central Park, so while the card is not complete dog shit, I will say that I was definitely wrong on that. I don't think she's that good still, and I'm happy to die on that hill. I don't think that she's a good card.
yeah.
Some
I
people
think
really think she's good, and I don't think she's good.
I think ultimately you're probably right. I think to both your points, you talk about her getting countered. I don't know if the Wong version of the deck is ever going to be good. Like, there's some crazier shit you could be doing with Wong Odin than like make to like kind of 25-30 power lanes or whatever, right? There's just more wild shit. Like if you get a Wong Mystique, like Ironheart, whatever, like you're pumping like 60 power. Like you could get absolutely cracked stuff, million procs on Hazmat, for example, minus all their cards to like minus 20. Like there's crazier shit you could do with Wong. And so, and to your point, I think you really see it coming and you just retreat and you don't really get any cubes. So it's like when they nut, you get like one or two cubes. And, then if you disrupt their thing, like they have to stay in the game. And then you could like snap play White Widow, snap play a Cosmo, and they lose more cubes. So they lose 2, 4 cubes, whatever, because they're snapping because they have their combos. So I think ultimately, like if she ever becomes relevant in the game, it's gonna be just as a good 5-drop that procs once. I mean, she's a 5/16. That's really good. So if you could reliably just play her and get a 5/16, then I think in that sense she would be good. But other than that, I don't see it as like the cheesy Wong version. I don't like that deck.
Yeah. And then the last card released, Sasquatch. What do you guys think about Sasquatch?
What do you think of dopeness?
When because I'm in a Marvel group in Twitter, so I get all my information from those dudes. So I shout out to those guys. Um, they pretty much talk about cards that are going to come out in the future, and I'm kind of bystander. Like I'm kind of paying attention, not really seeing what they're doing. And when it comes out, then that's when my true attention comes. And like I've been hearing for a while, oh, the monkey, hit monkey is gonna be good with this, and everything else is gonna be good with it. And I tried to, I've tried the hit monkey. I was like, I really don't like this kind of play style where you're like setting up something and then at the end, a Wong just disrupts that and I get deflated, man. I just like, man, I did all this work and it gets deflated. And with the Sasquatch, yeah, it's big numbers, especially if you have the Mysterio, Mysterio Sasquatch combo is just like, sorry if I'm kissing like in Italian, but it's like
Chef's kiss.
chef's kiss, Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mysterio was like, holy moly, Sasquatch, Mysterio. I got a 10 at 4, like, and we just power on, just keep on going, maybe a Syrian here, another, maybe, what's it called, a Mockingbird, no, what's
Yep.
the name?
Yep.
Mockingbird?
Yep.
Yeah, Mockingbird, and man, it's fun. Sasquatch is
Yeah.
fun.
What'd you think? No big deal.
I barely got to play with this card. This is one where I'm just straight up in Italy the whole time. And but I did like your guys' podcast on it. You guys outlined it pretty good in the podcast, and that all sounds like pretty good opinions to me. Like basically, you got like the Mockingbird, Sasquatch, Mysterio, and that's just a package. That's a 3-card package, and you just fucking put that in anything, and rock and roll. Maybe you're gonna moon girl. Maybe you're gonna do a monkey bounce. Maybe you don't use monkey. Maybe you just do like just a good cards kind of zoo type of thing, right? So I like where you guys landed on it. You, Gunny, and Joe were talking about some kind of Sasquatch builds. I haven't tried too much myself, so again, I don't have. But I say playing against it and playing with it a little bit, he does seem kind of like pretty good card, but not super broken. So kind of and a lot of people are putting Scar in these decks too. So like maybe Scar type of power level as well, which was what I was kind of thinking before the card came out. So. I like the card, but I need more experience with it to give a real opinion.
Yeah, this was my number 1 card before going in. I thought this was gonna be the best card of the month. It's a very good card. I mean, like the package with Mockingbird and Mysterio, even Squirrel Girl, like you could get Squirrel Girl out on 1, and then Mysterio out on 2. You could play Mockingbird and Sasquatch both on turn 3, which is ridiculous. Which I have done several times, playing with these little decks. It's really fun. It's really cool. And then if you have like Call Obsidian too, like you play that card on 4 and Scar's like free or 2 power or 2 energy, sorry. Then it's like they're fun decks. Is he the best card that was released last month? Probably not. I mean, I had like tears when I did it, and I think like Nocturne. I think there's 4 really good cards that were released. I think Sasquatch, Nocturne, Sage, and Blink. I think those 4 are just very, very good cards. It'd be very, very hard to say which one's number 1 out of those because they all do such different stuff. I just say like Nomura's the clear like last, and all the other 4 are pretty damn good. And Sasquatch, dude, he's a lot of fun. Just playing like just a cheap 10 power, it's great. It's great.
Like I didn't hit infinite last season because I started working again. I wasn't working for a while, so a lot of my time was going to work, and I just came home and I was like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to think about anything. But then I was hopeful because I had Sasquatch because I was winning so much. I was like, let's go, we're gonna get infinite. And then I think just work just I think overwhelmed me. I was like, man, I don't think I'm a little burned out from work. It's like I can't be thinking. I'm making dumb moves. I'm getting frustrated and. I haven't even showered. I'm like, I'm addicted to this game, but I gotta work. But it's like, man, Infinite, man, I'd rather get paid than,
Yeah,
stress over,
dude, it's all good. You don't have to hit infinite.
stress
You just
over.
gotta have fun.
Let me go shower before I get into this game. Because if I get into a game, man, it's over. I'm just gonna be in my little phone or on the computer. And the world could burn and be on my game, and it shouldn't be like that, like I gotta reality first before
No,
pleasure,
of course, of course. Yeah, no, 100% agree with that. Speaking of, infinite and stuff like that, let's talk about decks in the meta to help people get to infinite. No big deal's got some spice from
Oh
Italy.
yeah.
We'll talk about some of the decks. We'll get into yours a little bit in a little bit, but we'll talk about just some decks that I use to climb up to infinite, and we'll get into some other decks too, and we can just talk about them. So Zunes, one of the best players in the world, like was he a 15-year-old, just a fucking prodigy
Southeast
here.
Asia. Shout out Southeast Asia. Yeah.
Yeah, he used this negative deck, and I use this a little bit to climb through the 80s. It's a negative tribunal. I hadn't played negative in a hot minute. I did use no big deals, quantum tunnel tribunal to get to infinite last season. It was great.
Yeah.
Tribunal is always great to climb to infinite for anyone who's like struggling to go to infinite. If you like tribunal, I mean, it can be boring at times, but the negative, Mr. Negative, adds a little bit of spice and makes this one more fun. So the reason why Tribunal is so good is because when you get a bot, they have no clue that you're going to play Living Tribunal, so you can just steal 8 cubes from them. You could just be losing the whole game, and you can make one lane like 700 points, and they'll snap you on turn 5 because they're winning the other 2 lanes. Then you play Tribunal, and they have no clue, and you just get 8. So it's it's pretty good that way. So this list is Psylocke, Ravonna, Mystique, Magic, Mr. Negative, Jubilee, Iron Lad, Iron Man, Blue Marvel, Sarah, Onslaught, and Living Tribunal. Pretty standard Mr. Negative. Zunes said he got to infinite in 2 hours with this. He's probably playing all bots because his SP is so high. His elo is probably real high. But this is a fun deck. No big deal. I know you like negative decks. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I mean, I like this deck, and I think with the originator of the Hella, I think it was Hella Enjoyer that made like the kind of original Tribunal deck, at least popularized it a few months ago, right? Which is like really similar build to this. He has been playing negative as well recently. I think I usually don't play with negative. I don't think it's necessary, but people like it, and that's great. I like you could like throw Cosmo in there or something. I like doing shit like that. And then nothing can beat me. I just beat everybody with wins the Cosmos. So I think it's obviously a really strong deck. It's very counterable, but nobody's playing Enchantress. How many people are playing Rogue? Red Guardian is a natural predator of this deck, so you got to watch out for Red Guardian. Maybe hold your Iron Man, especially if you're playing Mr. Negative version, because Iron Man could cost 0, right? So you really don't need it to play it to the last turn. So you can't get your Iron Man Red Guardian. You'll lose 8 cubes if you do that. But to the kids' point, we don't talk too much about bot farming. I touched on it a little bit in the quantum tunnel negative discussion. But definitely, like, I want to underline what the kid said. If you are playing a bot, do not play Living Tribunal. And if your Lad or your Jubilee hits your Tribunal, then you might want to actually just like pass a turn or two. Like, make sure you're losing the game going into turn 7, because the bot will, if you're winning all 3 lanes, they won't give you 8 cubes. They'll give you 2 or 4, and you won't get your full 8 cubes. You need to get 8 from every single bot you play, because they will not counter you, and you play Living Tribunal last. That's the way you farm bots with this deck. So that's very important.
Yeah, and sometimes I actually did lose 8 cubes to a bot with this deck one time. I was fucking pissed. No, they put a green goblin in like.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna play.
Classic.
Yeah, or something like that. I forget what they did. They did something stupid where like there was a goblin that like fucked me, and like or actually no, there was one that played Enchantress too. There was one random Enchantress on turn 6 into my Tribunal lane. But yeah, I mean whatever, it's fun. I don't give a shit. I take those losses.
One card to mess you up, man. That sucks.
Yeah. So this deck, very good for climbing. Yeah, there's not a lot of counters right now, and yeah, like I said, farms bots, so you can get 8 cubes pretty easily from them, and very very consistently. You just have to like be basically to get 8 cubes from a bot is you have to be losing on turn 5, I think 2 lanes losing on turn 5, and the bot will snap you, and then you snap back, and then that's it. You know, so yeah. Or you can just snap early if you want for the bot, and then lose, and if you just want 2 cubes,
that's what I do typically.
you can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is fun deck here. We'll go with this deck, which I kind of just threw together after the patch, which we'll get into the patch. But I wanted to give Thanos an old go, so I just threw this together real quick. Actually, I was flying because I went back home, when nobody was gone, so I didn't get to see him. But on the plane, I just I threw this together, and I played for a couple hours. This deck. It's a Thanos deck. I wanted to try the new boy. Psylocke, Jeff, Red Guardian, Kyera, Hope Summers, Cull Obsidian, Blink, Mockingbird, Blob, Sasquatch, Thanos, and Scar. So basically just, classic big dude Thanos list. You could play stones to get your Sasquatch lower. Scar, gets lower as well. Blink gets out big cards. Kyera keeps your stones alive. It was a fun deck. It did pretty good into the 80s. I think it got me into the 90s. Through the 80s to the 90s around there, and it was a good deck. And Thanos seems he's a lot different, but he's pretty fun. We'll talk about some of the changes, but yeah, this was a fun deck. Have you guys played any Thanos?
Yeah. So okay, I gotta bring this up. I mean, we'll probably get to this later with the Thanos changes, but I did mess around a little bit with the Big Papa, with the the Mad Titan Thanos, and I do find it really interesting that you can because we know Prof X Cannonball's pretty good, right? And we know that it naturally runs in the Thanos deck anyway. I mean, these are 5 drops, right? We don't have a Time Stone ramp anymore, but we do have Psylocke's natural. I mean, you see Psylocke's in this build as well.
Hope,
and also Hope Summers. Any stone on Hope Summers is really great. So I've been messing around a little bit. I have like a Crossbones, Cull Obsidian, kind of Medusa. You're just like big dumb idiots. You guys kind of inspired me on the last pod. You were talking about all these different big dumb idiots builds. I was like, okay, I kind of did one with Thanos as well. It's got like Crossbones, Cull Obsidian. Mockingbird's free, obviously, and Blob's obviously a massive idiot. But you Prof X on 5, and you Prof X anywhere. It doesn't even matter if you're winning the lane or not. Thanos is always in your hand. So as long as you played Space Stone at some point, Space Stone's ongoing is that Thanos is basically a fucking 10 to 20 power Jeff, which is absolutely ridiculous. So you could just play Thanos into the Prof X lane if you need to. So it doesn't even matter where you Prof X. So I did that a little bit. And I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good. But we know Prof X Cannonball's pretty good. So
yeah. It's good.
It's an interesting, spicy way to play it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. No, we're definitely gonna get into the Thanos changes because he's a pretty fun card. I'm excited to see what this is not a real deck. I don't know. I just made it and it was doing okay. I was climbing with it. But I'm sure there's a lot of similar decks like this. But once it gets optimized, I'm excited to kind of see where people land with it. I just kind of wanted to play with the new cards and. I wanted to play more Sasquatch, and I wanted. I kind of like playing Scar once in a while. He's fun.
Yeah, Dopeness. Do you play any Thanos since the new patch, new changes?
No, I haven't touched Thanos, but you guys were giving me a lot of ideas what to do with the dude. Because first time I got him, it was fun. I was like, the animation's good, and I'm like, the stones are pretty cool. But yeah, with Mockingbird, I think I started playing with it more. I got Blob from the Spotlight. Trying to mess around with them, but since the new patch, I don't think I've touched them. I've been like the kid messing with the new cards because we got new toys. You gotta play with them.
Yeah, no, I feel you there.
I gotta try Thanos out on a conquest or something. Or this weekend when I have a little bit more time that I'm not working.
And also, I will say, Kyera is pretty damn good in this deck because you have Blob, Sasquatch, Thanos, and Scar. So if you get these cards out early, they can't Shang-Chi them if you have Kyera. So not only the stones, you have 4 6 drops, which you can reliably get out pretty early. Like Thanos, you can play as a 5/10 a lot of the time because you get when you get the Time Stone, right? Mm-hmm. And now it actually draws as well. So it's pretty good. Or if you blink stuff too, you blink it to your 6 drops. I mean, Kyera protects them, which is pretty insane. And Kyera is great. man, even the Kyra with the Thanos stones, like on these locations, like Rickety Bridge and shit like that.
Yeah,
Like it's just like you just
free location. Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm playing the Kyra too in my build, and I that's another reason why I do like the Prof X as well, because you know, I mean, I'm playing Crossbones and Call Obsidian, but even just in this build, Call Obsidian does get Shang Chi, but
Yeah.
not if you slam a Prof X on top of it. So you know,
Exactly.
then the Shang Chi go fuck himself. So that's pretty nice, you know. Just oh whoops, you know, that's your armor, and that's a 4 cost card. You know, it doesn't get protected by Kyra. So
Yeah.
that's like the classic. You know, that's a class. You know, I was before Dopeness, before you were playing, but you know, people used to do this crazy thing where they would put the card Atuma in a lane. I don't even know if you've ever even seen Atuma in the game, but they put Atuma in a lane and then they
I
put
think
Prof
I got a
X on
rare.
top of it.
I got a variant of the homie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the 410. The 410. What the? Yeah, the 410
Back
dude.
when Professor X was a 3 power card, so you know that Atuma into Professor X, that was a strong combo back way back in the day.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. Good old Atuma.
Yeah, had to shout him out. You know.
Yeah, I'll say one funny thing with this deck too. So I'll talk about this deck too. Patriot. This is a deck that got me to my final push in Infinite. I did the last half of the 90s, I think, or some of the 90s with this deck. So it's just like I think Combat Snap threw this out there, but I think a few people have been running this list, but that's where I got it from. It's Wasp, Dazzler, Mr. Sinister, Invisible Woman, Mystique, Patriot, Brood, Supergiant, Iron Lad, Blue Marvel, Gilgamesh, and Ultron. This deck is a lot of fun, man, right now in this meta. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of different things you can do, a lot of different lines you can take. Dazzler always gets huge because you're pretty much filling everything up. The Invisible Woman is awesome for, just protecting your Patriot and Mystique. If you get Patriot and Mystique, it's like, the nut draw, basically. You get Invisible Woman, Patriot, Mystique, and then you have Ultron. It's pretty insane. I think your little bots are up to 6 power at that point, so you get 24 in each lane. It's pretty ridiculous. And if you guys have like a Dazzler in the other lane, it gets up to 8 power. So you're getting 26 in that one lane. It's nice. You get Brood, you get everything to fill up. A few of the tech here, which is like Supergiant. We talked about Invisible One, but Supergiant's awesome. Supergiant's so good right now in this meta because one, people are playing Prof X Cannonball, like No Big Deal alluded to earlier. So you play Supergiant on 4. I mean, 5 power is nice to have, but like they can't do shit on turn 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like their turn 5 is completely screwed. So they're trying to Prof X. Unless they have Ravona and they're getting Prof X out early.
So you're playing typically Gilgamesh on 5, face down, basically.
It depends on my hand, right?
Right. Yeah.
Typically, yes. Typically, yes. But if I draw a Patriot or something, I'll probably play like a Patriot Dazzler or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, typically I will play like Gilgamesh or Blue Marvel even on turn 5, just to get a lane really big if I know that I'm gonna have a lot of power in the other lanes. But yeah, I mean, really, honestly, you could play anything on turn 5.
Yeah, all your plays are good anyway. I mean, you don't really have a bad play here on under Supergiant, right? So
yeah. They're all pretty good. So it really just depends on the board state and what you're doing. But like Ultron's been a ton of fun to play. The new Ultron's been so fun to play. Yeah, Gilgamesh under Supergiant is great. It's one of the best ones because if you don't have Invisible Woman out, you're gonna Ultron or you do something that buffs everything on your last turn. Gilgamesh becomes huge, He could become like a 5, 15, 16, 17 pretty easily. Especially if you got like Ultron out or something like that on the last turn. So, I mean, this deck was a lot of fun. Didn't really get countered too much. I think the biggest counters, I had one person steal 8 cubes from me because they played Eliath on turn 6. And I wasn't ready for the Eliath.
Yeah. No, I know.
He got my Ultron. Yeah, he got my Ultron. Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to play, and then you could replace cards. Like, you don't need Supergiant here. That was just like someone teched. You could play like, I don't know, anything really. You could play like a Misty Knight I've seen in these decks instead of Supergiant. Just any Patriot card, right? And Iron Lad gives you an extra bit of consistency as well. If you don't draw like your Patriot stuff, whatever's in your deck, Iron Lad can draw it. So
yeah, Brood's a nice hit for him too.
Brood's a nice hit. Patriot's a nice hit. Blue Marvel's a nice hit. Even Gilgamesh is a nice hit.
Yeah.
Ultron is, sometimes a nice hit, but if Ultron's still in your deck, you just got to play the Iron Lad in the right spot, like to be
Yeah.
like, hey, he might hit Ultron here. Don't screw yourself over, Dazzler is a pretty sweet hit on Ultron. Like Mr. Sinister is on Iron Lad, Mr. Sinister. They're all good, except for like Mystique and Wasp.
The order, just for for the people if they're new for this stuff, it's been a couple months honestly since I was grinding hella Modoc stuff. So I knew at the time, but if refresh my memory, kid, is it just the order stuff reveals is just the order you play it, right? Or is it always Invisible Woman last? I think it's just the order you play it, right? Regardless.
I think so.
With Supergiant as well.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. So yeah, so if you play like an Invisible Woman, then you play like a Patriot behind it, and then you go like Supergiant on 4, and then so now you're hiding another card. The Patriot's gonna reveal first because that counts, because that's just the one you played first. I think. Yeah, maybe good to Google that, if you're gonna play this deck though, because that's kind of important to know.
Yeah,
I think. I mean, for me, I just lose the cubes and then figure it out that way. Personally.
Yeah, I think I might have got messed up once with it.
Yeah.
So I think that's how it works, but
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. And I don't know if it's like if you would play Invisible Woman first, if everything on an Invisible Woman lane reveals first, just because it's all Invisible Woman, or
if anything, it would be last because she's ongoing. It would be last if it was a thing. But I think it's just simply the order you play it in, including Super.
I think it is too, because I've had Supergiant cards reveal after the Invisible Woman cards.
Yeah, so it's easy to remember, if you think of it that way, and it works that way. So
yeah, and whatever. If you fuck up, you lose a couple cubes and whatever, just get them back or whatever. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, this was a cool like you don't even need Gilgamesh in here, but it's just a cool like that because I hadn't played with Gilgamesh until I played this, and I'm like, you know what? I saw this I hadn't played Patriot in a hot minute. I hadn't played Supergiant almost ever. And I was like, this is a cool deck. It's good. So yeah, you play Patriot dopeness.
Yeah, I enjoy Patriot. I had a buddy on Twitter that I was like always when I started playing, I was always telling him like, man, Patriot's so fun. I felt like a little kid in the store, man, like a candy store, like I got Patriot, yeah, it's fun. And he told me about the Evo. I was like, what is that? And he tells me about it. I was like, it's kind of counterintuitive, but if I had to choose between Patriot or High Evo, I'm like the Patriot is just fun, especially with this Ultron and getting a buff with the 2. It's just, it's really fun. With the leech, when the leech was on there too, it was like, man, it was a different
very
time.
good deck with leech in it, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
With 4/2 leech.
So yeah, this is, if people want to climb, this is a very, very good deck I found to climb, because it's pretty hard to counter and it's pretty easy to get pretty easy snap conditions and pretty easy to output a ton of power. So
yeah, even people don't have these cards, is easily like not easy replaceable, but easy maneuvering, like the cards that don't have effects, and throw a couple of those in there, and you'll get a couple of wins, if you play your cards right. No pun intended.
Yeah, and you don't need Supergiant. You don't need Gilgamesh or Iron Lad. You don't need these cards. You really don't. They are replaceable for sure. I would say the cards you need are, probably Patriot, and Ultron.
Mystique.
Yeah.
And yeah, you want Mystique too. But yeah, Invisible Woman does do work. And Dazzler's been pretty sweet too. But like like Supergiant stuff, you don't need. Gilgamesh, you definitely don't need. The deck might even be better without Gilgamesh, to be honest, but he's just fun.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's
flavor.
new toy, man.
Sorry, go ahead, Dobness.
I'm sorry, it's a new toy, man.
Exactly.
So you gotta flex
play
it.
with the new toys. You gotta have fun out here. That's the name of the game.
Well, it's tough to go tall in the Patriot deck without like back in the day people were doing like Abomination, but like most of the time it's like Iron Man. Would be the card you play there. So like having the Gilgamesh, like because you don't always have a bunch of power for the Iron Man to really mean anything. Like a lot of time you play, it's like a 9 power play. You're playing an Iron Man for 5. So Gilgamesh is kind of cool, especially with the Invisible Woman interaction. I mean, it gives Ultron something that it didn't really have before, which is the ability to go tall in the non-Ultron lane. So that's not, or in the Ultron lane. Sorry. So that's pretty sick. I mean, it didn't really have that, right?
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
Mhm.
All right, no big deal. You got some spice for the people, even on the other side of the world. You're cooking and chefing out there, inspired
Yeah.
by the Italian chefs.
Yeah.
You have a nice little deck here for us. A little bit different than the regular Athena decks. Why don't you talk about it?
Well, I mean, I don't, I don't know the meta. I don't know what people are playing. I'm in Italy, so I'm in like my hotel at night or whatever. I'm laying in bed and I'm thinking, okay, like like Dobin said, the new toy came out. What are we gonna build? So I tried it, pretty cool in Thanos and stuff, and I'm like, all right, let me try. Everybody's playing. I was running into on the ladder. Everybody's playing Safety Blade shit. It's Ravona, Professor X, Cannonball, basically, right? That seems to be what everybody's playing. Am I wrong about that, boys, or is that what you guys are seeing?
No, that's what's going on.
Yeah, so that's
I think I'm in lower tiers where I'm playing people that have the basic cards. So I'm not there where you guys are in the ladder yet,
yeah.
but when I get there, I'll message you
Okay,
guys.
yeah. Hey, well, that's good too. So you got a nice diverse. You're playing some
That's
diverse stuff. I
better,
mean, for me, I was seeing the same shit.
Yeah, man. Right now I'm having fun with the 60s
And
right?
until I get the
yeah,
80s and I'm
and I
done.
like the Safety Blade stuff a lot, but I played like a lot of it like a couple months ago. When he first started doing the Havoc Copium shit, I was grinding that deck. So I want to play something a little different. So this is you've heard of Elf on a Shelf, you heard of Silky Smooth. This is the Thena Trot. So Thena, she's trotting around, she's moving around, so she's still Thena Trot. So we got Kitty Pryde, Nightcrawler, Angela, Thena, Craven, Jeff, Silk, Elsa Bloodstone, Hope Summers, Spider Man, Captain Marvel, and Arrow. Obviously, if you have Nocturne, you could figure out where to put her in here. You guys, if you have Nocturne, you know the card better than me. You could figure it out. Maybe Spider Man, who knows? Captain Marvel doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, this deck's pretty sick. I mean, I wanted to kind of like really build it around Thena, and I think Thena just kind of is like power creep on Kingpin in this kind of deck. And the nice thing is, even into Professor X, I'm finding a lot. Like you could just get a lot of power on the board, before turn 5, and you have basically priority like 100% of the time, just because it's so much powers early. So like I think a lot of time you could even just like play into the Professor X, and you have like a 2/5 Jeff as well. You could kind of jam him in there late if you need to. So you definitely have outs to Prof X Cannonball. You don't always lose to it. And you have some disruption tools for them as well. So I like Spider-Man a lot because you just play him into the enemy's Angela lane, and they get really sad about that. So like they have Angela, Hope Summers, whatever they want to load up the lane. They have Elsa. Elsa's gonna buff. No, he's not. It's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Gets him right out of there. To get him out of there easy. Arrow, same thing. You always have Prio, so they're trying to play their Angela lane. You want to come out of there. Like, sorry, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here. Bring you to my Craven. Craven gets +2. Thank you very much. And the reason I chose Arrow, I was trying Magneto a little bit. And Dopeness was saying too, you could play like a Red Hulk a type of card in here. If you play a card on top of Hope turn 5, then you could do Red Hulk Kitty. But I chose Arrow just because I always kind of have something to play on turn 6 if I don't get Hope Summers out, if I don't have like a Hope Summers kind of setup. Then I could play like Arrow Kitty or Arrow Nightcrawler or something like that turn 5. And all of these are just 2 cards at a time. So Thena gets absolutely stupid in this deck. Like I've gotten her to the 13 plus like multiple times. She's ridiculous because the curve on this deck is like just really strong. Everything curves out really nice. You got 2 1s, 5 2s, 3 3s. Like it's just an extremely smooth curve. And Hope Summers also lets you curve out really nicely too. So this deck has been absolutely crushing for the few games that I've played. It has an absolutely absurd win rate. But of course, there's a couple bots in there. It's pre-infinite, so don't take my word for it too much. I don't know, what it's like in infinite yet. I'm at like 86 right now or something. So, but yeah, this deck's been just really fun, and I love this archetype. I mean, this is just it's an absolute classic, So I love it.
Yeah, the move stuff's good. I haven't seen Craven in a hot minute. I know Benjamin Roller, shout out, man. I think he made a nice kind of similar ish kind of deck like this, where it's like he loves the move stuff. Obviously, he's got some move stuff. This is a cool deck. Silk moving around, buffing the Craven. Spider-Man, everything, buffing up the Kraven. You got Elsa because you're filling up the lanes because everything costs, so little. And hey, it doesn't matter if you're not an infinite now, man. You're helping people on the grind. If this is working on the grind up to infinite, then dude, this is a good deck. This is a good deck. Some spice for the people, to grind up there.
This is a crush. This is a crush pre-infinite. I mean, at least it has been for me for the few games I've played. So
yeah, I just got lucky that I had a long flight, man. So I had nothing but time. Fucking just play.
I don't know how you got internet on a plane. I do not get internet on my phone on a plane. I don't know how you do
bro. That. Some planes just have it if you're like Delta. If you're like a Delta member, which is free, they just give you free internet. And then there's other that you could spend like $5 or $7 or something to get internet.
I should have looked into that.
There's some flights that do that. You pay like $7 and you get internet the whole flight or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Where it's like if you're going for like 4 hours, like sometimes it's worth it. You're like, hey, I just won't get that fucking Starbucks coffee, and then I'll get a just not want to kill myself.
Paying a few $100s for the flight anyway, extra $5. Like, what's the difference?
Yeah. I think it's
what's that another $5?
Yeah, it's worth it sometimes. But yeah, anyways. This is cool. Arrow. What do you think about? I want to talk to you about Arrow, man. What do you think about Arrow? I haven't played this card in a hot minute.
Well, I wanted to have multiple ways to disrupt my opponent in this deck. And to the typical deck, you're playing like Kingpin, and you got like Magneto, Polaris, like shit like this, right? Where you could really disrupt them. But because I cut Kingpin for Thena, you get a lot more power out because Thena is just an absolute powerhouse in here, and she just gets massive. But you're losing some of that disruption. So rather than play like a Vision or Magneto or something like that, I wanted to just have something. And she's been awesome. I mean, zero people expect to see Arrow. She's a mega surprise card and just super easy to use. You basically always have prio with this deck, so you know exactly what you're pulling. And there's so much just Angela Kitty bullshit out there right now, right? So. Like they want to play everything in this very specific lane, like these Prof X, Cannonball, Kitty, Angela, Loki, all these decks, like these Loki decks. They're putting a freaking Snow Guard and a Quinjet, and you just clog them up. Like it's like, oh, you want to spread your power out, steal my cards, but like I'm just gonna freaking clog your shitty Quinjet lane now, and you got your little shit cards, and then mine are discounted, sure, but I already won a lane for free. So it's like pretty nice. Like I think it's great in here, and nobody expects it. And I like the ability to disrupt my opponent with a deck like this, even without Kingpin in it. Because obviously you can arrow to the Kraven lane. And I mean, she's still 11 with Elsa on and if it's a Elsa Angela lane, I mean, that's 13 power on a lane. Still pretty good. Yeah,
it's pretty sick. I have a question for you, actually. A scenario that I just thought about when you were talking. Because I don't listen to you when you talk. I'm joking. No, but seriously though. So you get priority a lot with this deck, right? So you have priority. What happens? I don't know if maybe you haven't run into this scenario because it's a random scenario. What happens if you play Arrow and the last card they played was Kitty Pryde, but you have priority? Because Arrow pulls the last card, right? Like pulls to that lane, but Kitty's already in the hand. Does it just pull like the one before they played Kitty, or does it pull nothing? Do you know? Does this ever happen?
Kitty Pryde? No, that's never happened to me.
Do you know what I'm asking though?
Nobody ever plays Kitty last. That's kind of interesting because nobody plays around Arrow, obviously, right? So
yeah,
I've never seen everyone always plays their Kitty first. That's because that just seems like that makes sense, right? It's easier to organize your board if you're playing your Kitty first. But.
You guys have to try it.
Yeah, I'm gonna test that out. Yeah, I don't know. Good question. I've never seen that. Nobody plays a Kitty last, right?
Yeah. I was thinking, I don't know if Arrow just pulls like the last card, like it doesn't count Kitty, or just doesn't pull anything if you have Prio. I don't know.
I think it would count Kitty if I had to guess, but I've never seen that before, right? I've never pulled a Kitty with my Arrow a single time. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, no, because if you have priority, like you're playing Arrow on 5 and Kitty's already in the hand, so like would it pull anything even?
Yeah, I think it would. Yeah.
What do you think it would pull?
Their last card before Kitty.
Before Kitty, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting, thought experiment there. Whatever, yeah. Someone could try it.
Mythbuster episode.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, all right. Hey, Dopeness, do you have any decks or anything you want to talk about? Any spice for the people?
No, right now, man. I'm just observing. I'm enjoying everybody's getting variants. Everybody getting riled up with the Gambit. So
Yeah,
I'm a
dude.
bystander, man. I'm just trying to enjoy life right now. You know, I get a couple games here and there, maybe one or two, but honestly, I was more into it when I was like, yeah, it's big spender, like $100 here, that was the exciting part. But right now, like free to play is like it's a little bit more passive.
Yeah.
But I'm just enjoying everybody else, doing Thena, doing the Gilgamesh, cooking up whatever they're cooking up, and I'm like all these cards you guys gotta send me the deck list, and I gotta try them out because yeah, it all seems fun. That preacher one, obviously that's top. Because I'm like, oh yeah, I got the Thanos. I gotta play more Thanos, and yeah, there's too many cards, man. I want to play with. I just got a couple of cards too. I just got Werewolf by Night, so I haven't even touched that dude. So it's like it's a little overwhelming, and it's like I don't know what to prioritize.
Yeah,
Honestly,
no, it's all good, dude. That's it. Just have fun. Whatever you have fun with, that's what you play. That's it. It's pretty
Well,
simple.
Destroy.
There you
I like
go.
yeah,
Destroy.
there you go. And that's kind of the beauty of the game, right? Like, like you said, if you do want to start going a little more free to play, like take it from somebody who skips cards. Nothing wrong with skipping cards. Like if it's a card that doesn't seem fun,
No.
easy skip. And then instead of playing
Namora.
with,
Excuse me.
yeah, Namora, like I don't know, I skip Nocturne, like I feel fine about it. Like you skip these cards and then like you could just play, they're like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna play some werewolf this week. Like that's your new card of the week. Or they just changed Thanos, now I can play Thanos, like there's so much cool shit to play, and I definitely don't think you need all the new cards in the game to kind of keep it fresh and fun. There's constant OTAs, like there's so much new shit to play. Like you could like, comfortably skip at least one card a month, like pretty easily, and just keep the game really fresh.
Yeah, and speaking of skipping cards, I will give the people this deck that I just randomly found on Untapped yesterday, and for the weekend missions, and just went 4 for 4 in the proving grounds like a fucking hero, and just got my weekend missions done real quick. This deck originally had U.S. Agent, but I skipped that motherfucker, so I put in Havoc instead. It's Kitty Pryde, Angela, Havoc, Thena, Shadow King, Jeff, Ravona, Sage, Elsa, Luke Cage, Nocturne, Shang-Chi. Now, you don't need Nocturne, you don't need Sage. You can replace those cards, pretty easily. Maybe Sage wasn't even here. Maybe it was a different card, and I just put Sage in because I wanted more Ravona synergy. I don't remember. But man, it's put in like Gladiator or some shit like that, this type of deck, like kind of like just the Thena, Ravona, Angela kind of stuff is very good right now. Shadow King's insane, and then
Yeah.
Luke Cage is insane as a card that people don't know that it's coming. You can even Shadow King your own stuff and just like Deadpool emo and be like, oh shit, I screwed up, and then you throw
Yeah.
the Luke Cage on the
I'm
last
losing.
turn.
I'm losing.
Yeah, and
What
then
just happened?
yeah, and then you just win. So Luke Cage is pretty good in these kind of decks. He's fun. But yeah, and even if people Shadow King like your Athena and stuff or your Angela, Luke Cage just bails you out, man. So that's a cool like deck for the weekend missions. Just wanted to throw this last one out here. Luke Cage he's a nice tech card right now in these kind of decks with the prevalence of Shadow King. So. But yeah, so yeah, that's we talked a shitload about the
Yeah.
meta and stuff. So,
But also, if you don't have,
I miss Luke Cage.
sorry, real quick, if you don't have Nocturne, Sage, whatever, you want to do weekend missions, I'm just saying, Thena Trot also has all 3 cards. Just saying.
Thena Trot, baby, get on that Thena Trot.
Sorry. Go ahead,
I
Tom.
love
That's
it.
what you're saying, buddy.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the patch. Let's get into that. So we can let me get rid
Yeah,
of the screens here.
Thanos, baby, snap.
That's it.
It's the Thanos patch. We knew it was coming. They did tease this a couple months ago. They said they're going to rework Thanos, and they're going to make it so that the cards the stones focus more on Thanos rather than the power of the stones, and then nobody's playing Thanos. And Thanos has like a giga negative win rate when Thanos is played, which really does not fit the lore, right? He's an ultra powerful, big bad, and should be treated as such in the game. So this is their first attempt at that.
Yeah.
To set the stage a little bit.
That's to set the stage. We'll go through some like what's it called, like housekeeping with the patches. They did the series drops, which we talked about before. So drop the series 3, Howard the Duck, Silver Samurai, Mirage, Echo, Martyr. Those are all series 3 now. You can get them free in the collection tract if you didn't have them. Just doing your dailies and stuff. Series 4, Jean Grey, Selene, Hercules, Nebula, Silk, the Living Tribunal, and Gladiator. Great cards to get for Series 4 for 3K tokens, especially Tribunal, Gladiator, and, and probably Nebula if you don't have that too. Those are
I
probably
gotta say,
best
the Coliseum's like pretty sick too. Just shout out to Gladiator.
Oh, in Italy, you're talking about the
Yeah,
actual
it's
Coliseum?
insane. It's fucking crazy. That building is ridiculous. I can't believe they built that shit 2,000 years ago. Insane in the membrane.
I'm pretty excited to see that shit.
Yeah.
All right. I guess there was a move update which we can talk about later. Or do you want to get into that now?
Sure, let's talk about it. It's right there. Yeah.
Actually, they go down and talk about it later. So whatever.
Okay.
Collectible borders. There's the they're available in the cosmetic shop for a discount. So in the little 3-thing cosmetic shop, you can get collectible borders. I think there's that new like cosmic border, which is pretty cool. It's all sparkly, and that's 900 gold, but 750 in the cosmetic shop if you want to indulge in that kind of stuff. Very good. They did visual effects for Ebony Blade, Beast, and yeah, audio to Venom, which we kind of talked about before. Sure, all that stuff, great stuff, love it. Love when they do that stuff in the patches. It's all good, I think. Do you have anything to say about those before we go on to the balance updates?
Well, we talked about the Venom voice line. So
Yeah.
shout out Dopeness, shout out Venom. We got a Venom voice line.
We are.
That's it. It's great. All right, let's get into the balance updates. Let's talk about these because these are some weird, cool ones. But yeah, so they basically just reworked Thanos and all the stones and everything, which to make basically they want Thanos to be a big dude on his own, and the stones work with Thanos, which I think is very cool. They also said that hey, they know that there's concerns that Spider-Ham might just destroy Thanos because he always starts on the left side of your hand. And yeah, so it could be pretty disruptive. So if Spider-Ham gets out of control, they're going to adjust it, I guess. So let's get into it. Mind Stone. Oh, Sanctuary 2, location disabled. So they disable this location. I think this is the one where it gives you a random Infinity Stone.
Random stone, yeah.
Makes sense.
Because Mind Stone's a brick. Mind Stone's a brick for anybody not playing Thanos now.
Yeah, so, they're all bricks. I guess the
draw card. Draw card's nice. Yeah.
So Mind Stone, 2/1. Is on reveal, draw 2/1 costs from your deck, changed back to its original text, which is on reveal, draw 2 stones from your deck. Used to be a 1/1, but it's still 2/1. So now you're getting the Thanos ramp. This is what I like to say. This is good. I think this is a good change. I like this. You're drawing your stones. You're not drawing bullshit like rocks that were placed in your deck. Your 1-drops you don't want to draw. You're getting your engine going, your Thanos engine going, which is the point of the Thanos decks. And so this is. I like this change a lot. I think it's really good. What do you guys think?
What are you saying, Dopeness?
Yeah, I like it because it's the point. The point of the stones is to help you out getting other stones, and that's a mission to get the 6 or the 6. Sorry, it's been a minute. The 6 stones on the board and get the Thanos out, and that's the beauty of that deck. But it's never like that. But hopefully we do get to see it more with this change.
Yeah, no big deal. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, I mean it's good. I mean you talked about it. You were pissed when they first changed it to the 2/1 cost. I remember you're getting rocks and shit from Subterranea or Darkhawk or whatever, right? They play a Korg and you fucking pull the rock with the Mind Stone. I know you were really pissed about that, kid. So it's good. It's good they changed it back. I mean this is what it should be. It's still still a 2/1, right? So it's a lot weaker than it used to be. But this is a good change, I think.
Yeah. It's good. I like it.
I have thoughts overall on the changes, but yeah, we get to that at the end.
Yeah, Reality Stone, 1/1 on reveal. Transform this location into a new one and draw a card. Now it's new on reveal. Replace this location with a new one. They got rid of the draw from Reality Stone. I mean, they added it to the Soul Stone, which we'll talk about. What do you guys think about the Reality Stone specifically?
I hate Scarlet Witch, so fuck this card. No, I'm just kidding. No, this is good. This is good. It's good that Soulstone got the drawback. I think that's a good thing. So I'm fine with it. I think it's that because it's like they said in the description, it's still a powerful effect. So a ton of utility. I mean, Dome was talking about before too. Oh, we hope they play the Magic. Well, this is another one of those cards where you just hope they play a magic or something. Now you're holding the hard counter in your hand. It's a 1/1, so that's pretty nice for a 1/1.
Yeah. What do you think, Dopeness?
Yeah, like you said, like you're just hoping for that magic, and you keep it in your hand, and you just pray and pray that it's something, you get some good cards, or you win at six, and bada bing, bada boom, just a one and one that wins you the game. It's an awesome
Yeah.
feeling.
No, it is good. And I actually think this is a not like I think it's a buff overall that did this because yeah, if this is a card that you want to save as like a surprise kind of card,
Yeah.
you don't really want to draw a card on the last turn. Surprise! I win the game, change limbo or change something else.
Mhm.
You know, you don't need the card draw. I mean, it is nice getting it early and just playing on an unrevealed location, so it's basically and then drawing a card. But they added it to Soulstone, so I like this change. Having it as 1/1, not draw a card, fine. It's a pretty powerful effect. So in and of itself. And then Soulstone used to be ongoing 1/1. Enemy cards here have -1 power. Completely changed it to a 1/1 on reveal. Draw card, which we talked about, and its ongoing is now Thanos can't be discarded or destroyed. So Thanos is like unshang-chiable
Hmm.
and uncorvusable too if you're doing Thanos Hella. Yeah, what do you guys think about this?
Well, I think it's a little.
This is new
Oh,
to
sorry. Go
me.
ahead, Dominus. Go ahead, buddy.
Sorry. I guess we have to raise it. Sorry, it's kind of weird. Sorry, I interrupted. I didn't know that. I guess I'm new to this patch. I didn't know this was a thing. That's pretty cool. I'm like, my eyes are open right now. I was like, guess what I'm gonna be doing after this podcast? I'm gonna be playing some
Yeah, yeah.
Thanos, because this is something else. Because like, I didn't know that, so it's new to me. So I'm pretty hyped
There you
about
go.
it.
First reaction. You love it. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
No big deal. What do you think about this, dude?
I like the live reacts. It's funny. So yeah, like I said, I played around with the Thanos a bit. This makes a lot of sense in theory, and I gotta say, overall, like every single stone change we read up to this point, I love all of them, including this one. I like this a lot. In theory, the thing is, the Thanos is always in your hand. He's Quicksilver. Like he starts in your hand, and he's Agatha. Like Agatha is always in your hand at the start of the game. Like Thanos does that, but he also cucks one of your draws, unlike Agatha, right? So like it's you a lot of time you want to play the Thanos out early because Time Stone discounts him by one. And or if you just play a card onto Hope Summers, then you can also get your Thanos out. So very often you're playing Thanos on turn 5, and this protects him from Shang-Chi. So that's pretty nice in theory. I actually playing the Thanos deck personally because I just haven't been seeing a lot of Shang-Chi out there lately. I find
Yeah.
myself a little bit like missing the old Soul Stone, like I like just minusing all their cards, and maybe I'm like
Yeah.
taking this like a little bit for granted. It's like Kyra is kind of boring, but she's winning you the game, giving you that condom. She puts like the condom on, effect on the cards, and so
Yeah.
yeah, maybe like I'm taking it a little bit for granted. Where I would have just got Shang-Chi and lost the game, and now I can't. I don't like see that happening, but I do find myself in practice missing the old Soul Stone a little bit. But I'm happy they did this change. I think it's a great change, and I'm happy they got the draw card back as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I
Cool.
love the drawback. I like how yes, the old Soul Stone was probably better, but this is more Thanos centric, especially like you said with the Time Stone. You can get him down on 5, and now he can't
Mhm.
be Shang-Chi. You don't have to worry about him with this,
Mhm.
right? Which is pretty cool, which is what I like. And another thing I like too is that like if they're really worried about Spider Ham getting really out of control, they can just add on to this card. Thanos can't be discarded, destroyed, or transformed,
Mhm.
and then he can't get screwed by Spider Ham if they're really worried about that. Which I don't know if that's going to be a huge issue. Maybe it will be. I don't know, but yeah, I think it's cool that he can't be discarded or destroyed. Not destroyed is really cool. And then you could play him in like Rickety Bridge. You could play him in like these kind of things, and
Mhm.
and then you just win that location because they're not gonna they're he's just gonna win it.
Yeah.
Um, and then can't be discarded. I mean, that's maybe a nerf to like the Corvus Hella Thanos, which
Mhm.
let's be honest, we don't really see that ever anymore because not a lot of people are playing Thanos. So
Thanos got nuked. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you can't Corvus the Thanos, so you could maybe play him the next turn after you Corvus because maybe he's a 5 at that point. But yeah, anyways, I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. But to your point, the discarded, I think we have to call it a nerf. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
be like this where people were talking about the Adam Warlock and maybe a 5/4 is a buff. Like let's be clear, Adam Warlock was a nerf. I think this is a nerf. I'm not as convinced as I am with the as much conviction with this as I do with the Adam Warlock stuff. But I think you do want the option to be discarded. I think they're thinking like they don't want you to hit you with like Black Bolt or like what's the other one? Silver Samurai. I mean, so it's never Silver Samurai is like never going to hit this card, right? So
No.
like is this like a Black Bolt protection? Like I find that very strange. Also, oh, you know what it is? Like it's like what's the location that just
Sakaar
discards
or
the hand
whatever.
like a
No,
card
that's not
randomly?
Sakaar. Sokovia, I think.
Sokovia, yeah, I was gonna say Sakaar as well, but I know it rips that out of your hand. But
Yeah.
so it doesn't want you to get Sokovia or like Black Bolt or something. So I would much rather have can't be power reduced or something than that. But the discarded thing's a little bit weird, but I guess it's okay. We'll just build Thanos. There's plenty of ways to build a Thanos deck. You don't have to do Hela as well.
It is cool too if the goal is to make Thanos like this big like thing, and then you want to like everything to synergize with Thanos. It's kind of cool not having to worry about him being cocked out of your hand by like Sokovia or some random like discard bullshit, right? Like or like MODOK from X Mansion.
Oh my god, imagine. He just survives, like
yeah, he survives.
Inevitable.
So I don't know, whatever. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Will I call it a nerf? Maybe if you want to do it from Corvus, but like
maybe slightly, maybe just slightly. But
but the not destroyed is
it's no big deal. It's no big deal.
Shit, no big deal, baby. All right. Then we got the Space Stone, 1/1. Used to be next turn you can move one card to this location, then draw a card. His new one is 1/1 on reveal, draw a card. Ongoing, nothing can stop you from playing or moving Thanos. What do you guys think about this one?
Have you seen this yet, Dopeness? No, so basically, it turns your Thanos into like playing a Jeff. Basically, you could put it anywhere.
Oh, like a Phoenix Force.
No, not like Phoenix Force. It's like so if you have the Space Stone down, you can play Thanos into a Prof X lane. You can play it into what's the Storm lane. You could play
Space Throne, right, where you could only have one card.
Yep.
You could play Thanos on top of that, right? So you have a card into Space Throne. Same as
Sanctum Sanctorum.
Yeah,
the one where you can't. Yeah, the one where you can't play 4, 5, or 6 cost cards. The miniaturized lab where you can't play on turns 3, 4, 5 or whatever the hell it is. You could play your Thanos down. So you could just play him anywhere if you have the Space Stone down. I think that's
to that place to where the Space Stone is, or
anywhere.
Oh snap!
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you could play it anywhere if the Space Stone is down. And
like whenever I played the Space Stone, I was always confused. I was like, I put it here, but I really don't want to move anything because like, what am I gonna really move? But now with this changes, like you get a little bit more, more chances, not chances, but like more moves to do than just that one move to that spot.
Yeah, I mean, I did love the old Space Stone. It was really cool. But this is cool just for Thanos, So him to be played anywhere is awesome.
I think I think you and Dobness make a really good point where you kind of both said it. Where on old Reality Stone and old Space Stone, we're not really using the effects too much. Like most of the time, you're playing those cards to fucking draw a card because you're early in the game. That's the one stone you draw, and it's like turn 2, you play the old Space Stone. What are you really moving? Like, yes, there's like crazy plays you do at the end of the game where you straight up can win the game, but with the old move. But like you need to draw cards in the Thanos deck, and like with the old effect, it's like most of the time like Reality Stone, you had to just play it like you most like a lot of time couldn't hold it for Magic because you just you need to draw a card. Your whole hand is 5s and 6s and a fucking Reality Stone, so you have to just play it on a random location. But now it's like you hold the Reality Stone every time now, which is great. And now you could just play out Space Stone like right away, and you could just play out Soul Stone right away, because you actually get the card draw and you get the benefit always, basically. So it's kind of interesting design choice. Now that you guys have kind of talked through it, I kind of see where they're going with that, right? You just play these cards out and it always feels good, rather than like Dobna said, most of the time you're playing Space Stone on turn 1 or 2. What the hell? You're not moving shit, like, you know.
You're trying to get that mocking. You're trying to get mocking
exactly.
out there.
Yeah.
Or,
So now it feels good to actually play out and get the mocking out. You know, the way they changed it now.
like,
Yeah.
let's go. Oh man, I'm excited.
The one thing I will say, I mean, I love this change. I'm just very confused about the moving Thanos part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I first saw it, you know, I was like, oh shit, like Thanos is gonna be like Vision too, like, you know, because if you get him out on 5, like, can you move him? You can't. So I don't know what this. Nothing can stop you from playing or moving Thanos. Like, playing is fine. Moving, I don't know what the hell that means. I mean, I saw a very, very curated, you know, very, very ridiculous edge case guest. It's Guest Gaming posted where he iron fisted a Thanos into the Prof X lane, and it did actually go into the Prof X lane. Like,
Of course.
it moved into the Prof X lane.
It will, but also you could just play it into it, right?
Yeah, but he just wanted to do it just to, like,
yeah. We know this is gonna work, but but you can just. Yeah.
So I do you have any clue of why they would say move? Like, I can't think of it. I don't know why they would say. I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Ghost Spider is another one, but again, you could just play it on that lane. But if you, yeah, I mean, what's gonna stop you? I mean, you'd have to be like, you don't have priority. Like, they play a Professor X, right? Locks down the lane where you played Ghost Spider on 6, because you're playing Thanos on 5 basically every time, right?
Yeah.
Because it's reduced by Time Stone or you have Hope Summers. So you play Thanos on 5, and then you go, oh shit, I don't want to play him there. Ghost Spider in another lane on 6. They Prof X your Ghost Spider, right? But nothing can stop you from moving Thanos. So yoinks him in there, easy win.
Yeah. Does on reveal go off though in Prof X?
Yeah, absolutely. Always. Yeah.
Ghost Spider's on reveal go off.
Yeah, like if you played an Ironheart in a Prof X lane, it still goes off, right? Think about it that way.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah. So can't stop you. Can't stop. That's literally like the most edge case that's literally never going to come up, but that's the only one I could think of that's going to matter. Because otherwise, you just play it in the fucking lane. So it's a very weird text. You're right about that. I just wanted to throw that.
Because when I first read it, I'm like, holy shit, you're going to be able to move Thanos like Vision on turn 5 with the Time Stone. But like, you just...
Yeah, that's what I thought. That you guys corrected me. I was like, oh, all right, that's not that cool, but still cool.
But yeah, him being able to be played anywhere, insane. It's a lot of fun. Like, playing Thanos, like, it's the deck I played the most on my Climb Up to Infinite, because I was having so much fun with all the new mechanics and having to really read the stones before I played them too. I'm like, what does this one do again? You know, like, it was fun.
Yeah.
And then the Time Stone.
Wait, hold up. Let me say on Space Stone real quick. I love all the stone changes, kind of, except for this one. I think they might want to look at this one and change it in the future. Like, even the Time Stone change coming up, like, I think it's fucking great. I think all the other changes are great. You know, the Thanos centric stuff, I'm all for it, and it's pretty fun to play. Like, it's fun to get the Big Papa down, Big Papa Thanos, 20 power a lot of the time. Play the stones, pump him up. Like, he can't be destroyed, can't be Shang-Chi. Like, can't stop me from playing him anywhere. Really cool. But I think that this just like promotes, like, what else are you going to do with this other than play it with Professor X? Like, it's just, they're basically just begging you to play this card with Professor X. I just think that's not a good thing. Like, people hate Professor X. Like, every time I log into Twitter, it's somebody whining about Professor X. So, like, I don't think they should make stuff that enables Professor X more. And I think there's so much they could do with this. Like, what if it was like, it sends the lowest cost card on your opponent's side to outer space or something, you know? It's like, you know, Space Stone, like, ship them into space or something, you know? Like, upon playing Thanos, lowest power card vanishes to space, you know? Like, something like that. They could do a whole bunch of stuff. I think they might need to look at this one. I don't think it's great for the game, honestly.
Yeah, I guess only time will tell, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dopeness.
what does Space Stone do like in the comics? Like
I have no
I
idea.
always when I started
No
playing the
idea.
game, I thought it was gonna be
Yeah, we don't know.
I thought it was gonna be like, oh, this is gonna be relevant to comics. Let's say like, oh, the reality, yeah, that makes sense. So I think the Space Stone, like how you said, like transporting one to space, or you play the Space Stone, and then the last like arrow kind of like move it this, you can move
Yeah,
that
move
card
it
over here,
somewhere. Yeah, exactly.
or
Yeah.
you can only play it here this turn, like something cool, like something like I don't know, something cool like that. But
Yeah,
that's
yeah. I don't know anything I
pretty
don't
good
know anything
thinking.
about comics. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
But yeah, like this. Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. No big deal. That's a legitimate concern. But time will tell. Like when I built Thanos, I didn't put Profex in. I mean, that's just because I didn't want to be a scumbag.
Yeah.
Um,
It also
but
counters Prof X, so that's good. So if you want to play it without Prof X, you can now counter your opponent's Prof X, which is
yeah,
kind of nice.
which is nice. Yeah, and I think I guess
Oh,
yeah, I guess we'll see.
one thing, kid, with the moving is one thing that actually does come up, not the bullshit ghost spider thing, but this actually did happen to me once. I still won, luckily. Cannonball is the big one here. Like I know it's obvious, but you know, you know how Cannonball normally punches the card, but it's your
Yeah,
highest power card, so it turns into a rock.
yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore. That just goes into Prof X lane now, right?
That's actually a great scenario.
So if they're
That's actually a
winning,
good call.
if they're winning the Prof X lane, it's great. But if they're not, then it sucks.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually a good. That's actually a good call.
Yeah, that did happen to me once actually. But luckily, and they were losing the Prof X lane, but I happened to win the game anyway, but I was a little bit tilted, honestly. I
Because
was
you won the Prof X lane, or what? Oh, yeah,
like, I
that's
did not
great.
want it to go in there, and it did.
That's actually
I was already up in their Prof X lane, you know.
yeah, that's actually a good call, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. All right, good.
So Cannonball comes up. Yeah.
You found the one relevant actually thing that actually does
Yeah.
happen.
It comes up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Mhm.
And then Time Stone got a huge buff. 1/1 used to be on reveal, give Thanos -1 cost next turn. Now it's give Thanos -1 cost. Period. He gets -1 cost. I think I said this when this first came out. This is the exact change I said. I'm like, they're gonna need to change this to make it just get rid of the next turn. I think this immediately when they changed Time Stone originally, I said they need to get rid of the next turn. They did. Good. Because just the next turn, like give -1 cost next turn, makes it so ridiculous that it's so restrictive for time stone. You can only play it on 4 to get the value for Thanos on 5. It was stupid. Now it's just like you play the time stone, you draw a card, your Thanos is 5 from here on out. It's nice.
Mhm.
Get a big boy Thanos. I love it. It's great.
Yeah, I think
What was
yeah.
it before? What was it before you got the negative
It was
cost?
you got
like
+1 energy next turn, draw a card.
mhm,
It was like it was a
Oh,
ramp card.
mhm.
oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Oh, this is pretty cool. I don't think I played Thanos since it got the negative cost. It's been a minute since Thanos.
Yeah.
Like when once it got like nuked, I got sad. I was like, damn, but
Same
man,
here.
I gotta
Yeah.
play some Thanos this weekend.
Yeah, he's fun. He's really fun
I
now,
gotta
and
play
I was
Thanos.
having so much fun. Like I said, he was the majority. I played Thanos the majority of my climb,
Mhm.
just because I was having so much fun, man. It was really cool playing with all the new stones and stuff, and
Mhm.
just getting like low cost scars and stuff. It was really good. I don't know. Overall, what do you guys think about the Thanos changes?
I love him. I love this time stone change too. Like I think it's great, and I think the fact that he starts in your hand, it like if this time stone change doesn't happen, say it's like they kept it where it's just for one turn, it's a massive nerf to like it's just a huge liability to have this brick in your hand that's always going to cost like a 610 in your hand always is dog shit. Like it's horrible, you know. So it's basically Quicksilver, you know. So the like now that it's not Quicksilver, now it's like it reduced by 1, and it's got Jeff's effect, and it can't be Shang-Chi, and there's a good chance it gets to 20 now, you know. Like it's starting to get like pretty cool. So I love the new direction they went with Thanos. I think this is great. I just think they might have to look at Space Stone specifically, but other than that, I love it overall.
Yeah, dopeness. What do you think, dude?
Yeah, man, I'm playing some Thanos this weekend, and hopefully get some ladder up, man. Cause like messing around with these stones and playing around and messing around with people with the stones as well. Then plus you got your other cards is like a plus. So like whatever you want to play with, man. Honestly, it's just dealer's choice and play what you got in your hand, and and I like these changes. I'm interested. I'm sold. You guys
Yeah,
sold me.
Yeah,
play
let's go.
Thanos. He's fun. He's fun, dude. He's a lot of fun now. I like it. And even like
All right, Thena, Gilgamesh. I'll play with you guys later. I'm
Yeah,
cool
yeah,
with
new
that.
card in the game. Yeah,
yeah,
Thanos.
exactly. And then also too, there are what was I gonna say? Um, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say.
the
Damn it.
move update probably, right? You're gonna
No,
talk
no, I was
about?
gonna say
No.
something about Thanos.
Oh,
I don't know. He's just good. He's a lot of fun. You can use play him. You know, he's good. Oh, even yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Sorry, I'm an idiot. I
okay.
did get Spider Hammed quite a bit. There is
Oh,
a decent amount of Spider Ham on the ladder. You know, maybe okay, not quite a bit, but it did happen more than once. Probably like at least 5 or 6
Hmm.
times. 5 or 6 games where I got Thanos Spider Ham didn't really matter too much. I didn't like feel playing if you have the time stone out, he's a 5/10, so playing a 5/10 is not like the worst thing in the world. It still gets your Scar down if you're playing Scar in the deck. But yeah, so like Spider Ham, I didn't feel was a huge nuisance. But if Spider Ham, if playing a lot of if there's a lot of Thanos, everyone's gonna be playing Spider Ham. Then it's gonna be very annoying. But yeah, I don't know. I
I
don't.
agree with that. Okay, he's a 10 base power card. Typically, Spider Ham, you're aiming for like Iron Man Tribunal, Hela. Like you want a key card like Ultron, this like win condition late game. Elias. Like you want to hit one of these cards. Like hitting a 10 power card with Spider Ham is not that impactful, right? So. And maybe there's a stone like you wanted to play that you were holding, like it's not protected by Thanos, right? So he's not like your main win condition, even though the deck is kind of built around him now. You don't have to win with Thanos. You could just win with like Dopeness said. You put in whatever the hell you want in your deck. You play your other cards. Not a big deal. So
Yeah.
and then you still have a 10 power card with 10 base power. So yeah, I mean that's like at least an option,
Yeah.
even with Spider Ham. So I don't think it's a big deal either, honestly, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever won with Thanos as a 20. I think I got him at 20, and I was so like excited about it. And I think I either got Shang-Chi or they beat me with the other lanes. I was like, damn, I was like, "All right, I don't want to get this fool at 20 anymore. It was like too much work, and then it's only one lane, and it's like I like playing around with the other card, with the Infinity Stones. That's a fun part, and well, whatever cards you have in your deck, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like when he's 20 personally. I think it's
Well,
great.
it's better now.
Oh
Like
yeah,
with these
it's
changes,
fun,
it's a
but
lot better, right?
Well, now he can't be destroyed, right?
Yeah, it
oh
So
can't be
yeah.
Shang-Chi now. And
Oh, he
yeah,
can be for
if you
him.
have if you get him to 20, you have all the 6 stones down. So yeah, you'd have the soul stone down. So
Yeah,
he's good.
Mhm.
Um,
that's definitely
yeah.
gonna the goal to do this weekend. Get him at
And
20.
so the worst part of the patch for me is this move update. These motherfuckers had to nerf Phoenix Force. And if you don't play a lot of Phoenix Force, you have no idea there's a nerf to Phoenix Force because this move change actually makes a lot more sense and it is more intuitive for the game. It is better for the game overall for everybody. But for people like me who wanted to break the mechanics of the game with doing dumb shit with Phoenix Force, uh, this kind of sucks. There's some stuff I can't do anymore, but whatever, it's fine. So, I'll just read what they say in the move update. As mentioned earlier in the patch notes, we've updated card movement made during the staging portion of the turn to resolve before any cards reveal. This affects cards like Vision, but has no impact at all on cards like Iron Fist and locations like Bifrost. We made this change to resolve a number of confusing interactions. First and foremost, this is when the cards visually update already, so it just makes sense to line the resolution up with the game state being represented. Second, this addresses some weirdness unique to ongoing cards. For technical reasons, ongoing cards have been built to temporarily turn off when they change locations, in part due to the way these cards can have location specific abilities and VFX. In the past, you may have heard of some tricky move-based ways to Enchantress a Cosmo or duck Shang-Chi with Devil Dinosaur. Those won't work anymore. Kind of like if you have New York, which is the location where you move on turn 6. Like if you move Devil Dinosaur over and someone plays a Shang-Chi on the other side, depending on priority, the Shang-Chi might resolve before the Devil Dinosaur, ongoing buffs. So like if the Shang-Chi has priority, they would play the Shang-Chi, and the Devil Dinosaur, if that player didn't have priority, it would move over. Shang-Chi would miss, because the Devil Dinosaur would be a 5/3, and then that Shang-Chi would resolve. Then the Devil Dinosaur ongoing would resolve and buff up to like 5/14, and Shang-Chi would miss it. So now in this update, once you move the card, the move after it moves, that stuff resolves first. So you're never going to have that problem again. So yeah, there will be a handful of other minor impacts to this change. However, a general guideline of assumed player-made moves will happen before everything else should lead you to the best sequencing for your cards. So yeah, anytime you move a card, that's going to happen first. That effect's going to go off first, and so it makes more sense for everybody in the game.
I would say before you get into the weeds with the Phoenix Force stuff, if you do, real quick, I did feel like there was some problems with the Silk Elsa stuff in the past where it was just a little tricky. Where sometimes I really thought I was going to get a 2/7 Silk, or I really thought I was going to play Silk and then play a card that gets buffed by Elsa, get Silk the fuck out of there. Now I have room to keep playing, and it just wouldn't work properly. I don't know if this fix changed it or if they fixed that earlier, but playing the Thena trot this season, everything feels pretty good. It's working how I think it should be working. So I haven't felt it at all. It feels like it's working pretty good to me.
Yeah, they fixed that move earlier. They originally it was a year ago. It was the way it was now. Then they changed it, and then they changed it back to make it more intuitive.
Okay.
So yeah, your Thena trot does. I think Nightcrawler is the only one where you can move on your own. This only affects cards that you physically move yourself.
Yeah, Jeff, Nightcrawler,
Jeff
Vision.
too. Yeah, Jeff and Nightcrawler. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if many people care, but with Phoenix Force specifically, I'll do a couple examples. So when you have multiple man Phoenix, this really only affects the multiple man Phoenix Force stuff. So two examples is I can play if I played Hulkbuster on an empty lane by himself, and then I moved Phoenix Force multiple men as the second action to go on top of that. The way it would work is that the multiple men would move, the Hulkbuster would attach to the multiple man, and then you get a big multiple man, like a 5'11" multiple man instead of a 5'8". You get 2 copies of that. Now I think you only get 1. I think that the Phoenix Force, the multiple man moves, and then let's say it's a 5'8" multiple man.
Clones first.
Pardon me, or like an 8 power. Yeah.
It clones first, then
and then the Hulkbuster.
Yeah.
So you don't get that extra thing, which does have implications in Doctor Stranging at the end of the game too, right?
Yeah.
And then also there's a weird interaction with Ghost Spider, where if I Ghost Spider first and then move the multiple men second, then that would shoot 2 multiple men copies to the location where I moved it and keep 1 multiple men copy in the Ghost Spider lane. So I can choose where I wanted to put the power. Now it's the move happens first, so it'll be 2 copies in the Ghost Spider lane and 1 in the other lane. So and then that specific thing can also dodge stuff like Fisk Tower, where you wouldn't get the -4. You can do that, but now I think it would.
Okay, I think now that you explained it, I think I understand it a little bit better. Basically, tell me if I'm wrong. If I can translate, because I'm not a Phoenix Force sweat like you kid. So if I could translate, basically what I always thought happened and what it looks like is happening on the screen is the move happens first. But in Phoenix Force, there were some fringe cases before where technically the move wasn't happening first. It was kind of like the order you played it. So you played the Hulkbuster. That's not moving. Now the move always happens first, no matter what. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, this is even here they say assume player-made moves will happen before everything else.
Okay, I assumed that anyway before. That's how I thought it at the Marvel Snap.
Well, that's how it should be. But this is why this is why I like the Phoenix Force. That's why it's so cool, because it broke some of these mechanics, and it was hilarious to abuse some of these mechanics. It was a different weird thing to learn that they took away from us, man.
That is a little bit sad for the Phoenix Force.
Is it a huge nerf to the deck? No. Is it a nerf to the deck? Yes. Is it still probably the same power level it was before? Probably yes.
Yeah, you lose a 2 or 3 power here and there. You lose a little bit of power here and there, basically.
Yeah, it doesn't get rid of
situations you lose a little bit of power.
Yeah.
It's a slight nerf to the deck.
Yeah. And also too, with Shang-Chi as well, because sometimes if you move a big Human Torch Phoenix Force, you can dodge a Shang-Chi if you avoided priority. Because the Shang-Chi would come first and then the move would happen after, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There were some Shang-Chi priority-based things that you could dodge, but now it's just the move always happens first, so you're always screwed if they guess right. Which, whatever, it's fine. But anyways.
That makes sense. Yeah, but we got to make the game
this is better for the
easy
game.
to understand.
Yes. This is better for the overall health of the game, and I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
But I'm just not happy about the Phoenix Force stuff because, come on, man. Yeah.
Happy.
But yeah, I did some bug fixes and stuff. But yeah, one more thing I just want to say before we were like 2 hours in. Holy shit! SnapCon 2024. It's gonna be Tampa, Florida, August 16th to 17th. I'm about 80 to 90% that I'm gonna go.
Same here. I'm at that percentage as well.
If I buy my ticket, are you gonna go?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, because I have a conference August 12th, 13th, 14th. I looked up flights yesterday, so I would probably if I do it, I would overnight fly from the 14th to in California because I had a conference in California, so I'd overnight fly from there to Tampa, and then get there on the 15th in the morning.
Also, dopeness. If you're in Mexico, I mean, Florida's not that far. I mean, Tampa's a little more north, I think, but I'm just saying.
I'm in Cali.
Oh, you're in Cali?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had the Mexican fly because I'm Mexican.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were living in Mexico. Sorry, buddy. Sorry about that.
Yeah. I'm not doing too much Chambly right now. I'm not doing any. I'm not even going to the theater because I have a really really old dog that's attached to me to the hip. So,
Yeah.
I hope you guys have fun. Take a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, if I end up going, I'm about 90% I will, but I think it's gonna be really cool. I think it's gonna be really fun. I really don't want to miss it. So
Have fun, guys.
we'll
yeah.
see. But hey, dopeness, man. I just want to say, hey, man, thanks for coming on with us, dude. I think it's your first podcast you've been on, so
Appreciate it.
dude. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. Do you have anything
Thank
you got to
you.
say to the people?
Yeah, man. Support these guys. These guys work really hard. They travel. They schedule themselves to any situation. This was literally last minute, and we got it done. And I was just eating right now, and they're like, "Hey, you want a podcast in 40 minutes?" I was like, "Sure, let's do it." And I'm glad you guys got the content out, and it's impressive. You guys how you guys do it.
No, thanks,
Respect,
dude.
lots of respect to it.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, no big deal. Was getting really fucking jet lagged. So we're like, oh, let's go a little bit earlier today. He's like,
It's possible.
the guy he's struggling right now. He's on the fucking struggle bus. Wake up at 5 a.m, drive 4 hours on to firing down coffees. We gotta look out for his health a little bit. But
Yeah, I wouldn't even notice he was jet lagged or he was tired.
Caffeined up.
If I'm tired, man, I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be with my eyes closed. I'm gonna be like, what about Thanos? Oh, he has whatever, But yeah, man, I wouldn't even notice he was traveling so much. A lot of props to him.
yeah, dude. Hey, no big deal, bro. What do you gotta say to the people? Close us out, my man.
Well, hey, man. Shout out Dopeness. Thanks for coming on the show, buddy. Check out his stream. You see Dopeness
Thank you.
on the Twitch. What's your Twitch TV, Dopeness? You're on Twitch?
Dopeness, DOP3NEZ, like a Hispanic last name.
Yeah. Dope3.
And the NEZ, the Fernandez. If you ever see anything like that, just something unique that I was trying to come up with. I don't really see much the input of people's last names into names. So I was like, why not? Something, some generic name, dope, and add a 3 like a gamer tag, and put something else.
I like it.
It might be a weird spelling, but there's a lot of weird spellings out there.
That's in the gamer spirit, though. The weird spelling, I mean, that's, that goes
Oh
way
yeah,
back.
man. 360.
Yeah, that's all true gamers. True gamers understand. But yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for having me back. I didn't get totally fired, so fired up to be back. Got the natural energy. I missed a week, so I'm just like charged up. I'm ready. So, it was fun. It was a great pod. I mean, I went for a couple hours, and hey, maybe come see us in person at SnapCon, guys. I mean, shit, we're probably gonna be there. So, yeah, so see you at the end of August. Let's fucking do it. Run that.
Hell yeah! Let's go, baby. Thanks again, and peace.
Woo.